Welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Operation Aegis, or Lancer actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Patrick playing Freddy, Sarah playing Vika, Jeremy playing Cortev, Duba playing Audrey, Rappy playing Melody, Eric playing Uriah, and Cara playing Tiana. And who remembers where we were last week?
We had captured the base, but we were going into an area that we could not get our mechs into.
We'd got into the base, we hadn't really captured it.
Yeah.
You had the docking bay where they kept their mechs, and the kennels for their kaiju. But you had easily thwarted the just regular guys with guns they had outside.
We also learned about their implants
And
and how they were not made by mortal hands.
Or at least seemed to not.
You had kind of
Well,
guessed some of that even earlier, but
Yeah. But we had more.
Well, now
Nanomachine,
it's
son.
confirmed.
And now also we've got more information on the actual cult itself, and hypothetically there we may be dealing with an NHP.
that is the conclusion that you have come to, yes.
Nanomachine, son. Sorry.
So yes, you were in the hangar bays. Basically this base built into a mountain, built on the side of a hill.
Mhm.
All the doors exiting out of here, too small for a size of one mech to get through. And I believe y'all were going to dismount and go in on foot, leaving the AI, the mix with NHPs.
Standing guard.
Right.
And also we have the we still have some people who have half-size mechs too, so
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do it. Who would those be?
Atlas is a size 1/2.
I believe you're
Goblin is a size 1/2.
If I really wanted to be, I could be a half size. No, I couldn't.
The dog probably couldn't fit a toe through the door.
Yeah.
Maybe a manipulator. Yeah,
I'd have to bend really funny.
dog sit.
Though if you had a mech like Grid Space that was a bunch of little drones, could they squeeze through a door?
I did put one of my drones in there. I did put my shield drone in there.
Yeah, I think it said your shield drone was following me.
Yes,
It
it is size
was-
1/4, so I'm assuming it can get into that little opening.
I just get the imagine of like a Baylor just like Play-Dohing through the door.
You can't really.
It has
What
to have
door?
a power supply to support a size 2 mech, so it can't.
Oh yes, I would like to make a door.
That's called explosive charges.
And that would work on a regular base. It might not work as well on one inside a mountain.
Yeah, that might result in an... All right, new campaign.
Maybe.
No, we've never had a TPK.
Nope.
And let's try to avoid one if possible.
I don't know, now y'all put the idea
Actively,
on
I'm
my
going to
head.
try to cause one.
Don't do it tonight though. Wait till the second to last session.
I was thinking the same thing.
Mhm.
Wait till the penultimate session. Great GMs think alike.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think the conclusion we'd come to is that since I was a more frontline combatant and a size 1/2, I was taking point.
That would make sense. Where is the goblin going to be? Ravi?
Rappy.
Sorry.
Robbie.
In the
I'm here, but not here. Sorry.
All right, so Uriah was talking about taking point since he's in a mech.
Yeah.
Where's the goblin going to be? Are you going to go in like right behind him? Are you going to pull it up the rear?
Pull up the rear.
All right, so we got Atlas in front, Goblin in the rear, and then the rest of y'all can be, you know, lined up or grouped however you want in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuffed. As Ty is wont to be.
Just remember, you can go in single file to hide your numbers.
And just make
Ty
sure
is
you
going to be
walk
stealth
without
when she
rhythm.
gets out of the. Ty is going to be stealth when she gets out of her mech, so they think she's still in there.
If someone was
point.
watching, they just see the hatch open and then close.
I mean, depends on where she gets out at, but yeah. It's a giant walking transport. I'm sure there's multiple ways out of this thing.
Just climb out of the cooler.
Or it has a horrible design flaw and there's not. There's one door.
It's just the one door that opens the full faceplate of the mech and then closes it.
Jeez.
I think Vika's the only one that doesn't have an AI or is able to wear their mech into the mountain. So she may stay with the other mechs just in case stuff goes sideways.
I want to make it clear I'm not going in I'm not going in as like a little Robotnik thing. I am walking in as a without the rest of my mech, and the shield drone is in front of us, like kind of taking point.
Shield drones with Uri. Your mech is outside with an HP, and you're on foot.
Yes.
Gotcha. And let's see, Audrey's mech has an AI or an HP or something. If I remember right.
You'd be correct. In
Okay.
HP. It has an HP.
All right. I know Whip's got an AI or an HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Sarah is right.
Yeah, Vika's just
I
gonna
would-
hang out with the mechs.
I was about to say, could one of my NHPs control hers, but I was like, that would probably be a bad idea.
It's nonsense. Coquet would love it.
Vika would have to change her stance on NHPs real quick.
She totally wouldn't cascade while you were gone.
She'll stay out. Like, if it goes sideways in there, call me, I'll come in, but it may be useful to have a flesh bag out here.
Coquet and Rabbit are confident that they'd be fine if you wanted to go in.
Well, if everyone else is killed, one of us has to be able to get back to the base.
Oh, they can do that.
Could they if their Tiana was killed?
I think they could still walk the mech back to base. They might not be able to tap
Technically,
into all
there's-
that stuff.
They're still considered independent NHPs, so they function without
Out of
my...
your.
Fair enough.
No.
It's just their mech at that point.
That's why I was going to say that if Ty ever did bite the bucket, or kick the bucket, she would. The NHPs would still be around in some fashion. Maybe not controlling a mech.
Oh dear.
Running a coffee shop somewhere.
Yeah. That's how we get the Starbucks.
Just
You know what, that
pictures of their old unit up on the wall that aren't with them anymore.
No, it's not
Mhm.
Starbucks. It's Rawbucks. Come on now.
Oh God, no.
I hate everything about that.
Our coffee is
not
so
everything.
delicious it can be made by mortal man.
Don't drink more than 3
We've-
cups, or you will cascade.
With the slight flavor of
We-
nanites.
We violate physics for your enjoyment.
That's how you get your drink the second it's ordered. They violate time.
It's already there when you walk in. It's been there.
Oh, that was a
for
delicious.
weeks.
Wait.
How'd you know exactly what I wanted?
There's a what is the one from Lich?
It's the
Just
Lich is
Lich.
just time. Yeah, it's just time manipulation. Period.
Manipulation, yeah.
Yeah, I know. This the M8. There's Lich has an NHP on its third profile.
The Dynamos class NHP?
Dynamos.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's the manager. You walk in, like as soon as you sit down, the coffee's just there. It's like it'll be this much.
It's actually already taken out of your account. But getting back to the game versus our
You need
Hello,
Aegis
Rand.
Starbucks.
You
At
need
least
to
this
ru-
was
you need
an
to-
in-universe tangent, though.
You need to
Yeah,
rush
yeah,
to
yeah.
the bathroom before you even drink the coffee.
That's true.
Just
we
a
did,
co-
we did manage to keep that rant in universe. this
A
time.
kobold is the barista.
All right.
Heats up the coffee.
The name it better not be Ruak.
The never mind. I said it already.
The horrors
I
persist.
specified which drug was inside. The horrors do persist, but I remain
Yeah.
jolly.
Also, as a point of order, I will be maintaining Lord stance on the Terashima blade.
Means nothing in narrative play.
Fair enough.
The most your suits will do for you in narrative play is you'll have some armor to take damage, of course. And they may give you accuracy in situations where they would obviously give you accuracy, you know. If you go to wrestle a normal dude, Mech's gonna win pretty much every time.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't know how that would work since Lord stance is basically like, hey, if they miss you, you deflect it back. I didn't know how that would work in like narrative play, so I figured I'd mention it just in case.
All right, so y'all start inside. Well, most of you. As you go in, there's an alarm going off. It's not obnoxiously loud,
Yeah.
but it's noticeable. No, nobody in the base is not going to hear it.
Yeah.
Because, there was some shooting outside.
Yes, there was.
As you go down the hallway, all the doors are shut. You're pretty sure this base has gone into lockdown.
Well, I can hack or I can play. Anyone comes after me, they become confetti. Which you want me to do?
All right, how many hackers do we have?
I think that's
Yes.
most of us, honestly.
But I think I have a +6 for my hacking.
What is hacking?
Yeah, same. I think, to be fair, the only reason Uriah has a +6 in hack is because hack is also tied into fix.
Yeah, hacker fix.
Yeah.
So
It's really kind of a general repair / computer skill.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, and I don't have
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
CompCom pulled up, but I believe the Goblin also is a mech suited for hacky
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
the goblin. Yeah, that's why the goblin has like the absurd sensor range.
Mhm.
Yeah, in that case, when Melody hacks, she will have advantage, or accuracy, I should say, for due to the Goblin being kind of designed for that.
Okay.
Much like if the Atlas decides to get into hand-to-hand combat with somebody, Uriah would have an accuracy.
Works for me.
So I'm rolling a d20 and what else?
D6
Yeah.
for
1d20, 1d6, and your hack.
All right. So, are you trying to hack one of the doors open?
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
try to hack one of these doors open.
All right. Give me a roll. It is difficult
17
because
on
there
the
is
die,
what now?
and a 17 on the d20 and
Okay.
a 3 on the d6. So a dirty 20.
All right. There are no dirty 20s in this game. There are just.
Well, you said
Pretty
difficulty, so
law-abiding
you
20s.
she wouldn't add the d6 then if it's a difficulty.
No, I don't mean
It's a
accuracy.
difficult to roll.
yeah, it's not the difficulty accuracy. It's the well, you have to have a 20 rather than the 10.
Okay.
Did they call both of
Steady.
those difficult, or did I just flub it up?
I think you
I-
just flubbed that.
Yeah, it's all
There-
good. I just
There's difficult and then there's difficulty.
So the check would have been difficult, meaning you needed a 20. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Then I get
And
the
you-
+6 to hack or fix.
All right. So you got
yeah.
well over a 20.
Yeah.
Somebody is actively working against you when you try to hack this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But at least this time you were better than them.
This time.
Or it. Or her.
How many doors are there closed? Like,
That you see in the hallway right now, 4. But that's just
Like-
in this stretch of hallway.
so just stretch a hallway and there's 4 doors on the left and right,
Mhm.
or just two
Oh,
and two?
two and two. It's 2 and 2.
Okay.
Let's see. Which one did you open?
Ty's gonna be like in such a position to where she can see down the hallway,
Okay.
but she's like aiming in case like someone pops out to shoot. And stealthed, yay!
All right. So the door Melody is working on pops open. And you step in and you see a lot of comms equipment. Everybody give me a check to see what all you notice when you step in. And who all is stepping into the room.
I'm being Overwatch at the moment, so
Okay.
All
You're
right.
overwatching the hallway.
I'll investigate that too, so.
Um,
I rolled an
guess
18.
for I think it's just Vika who's outside.
Yep.
I have a recording going, in my wrist com.
So have a
24
roll-
to
just
investigate the
roll a 20.
room.
All right. So Melody and Freddy go right in as soon as the door opens.
I go in, but I rolled a 5, so I don't
Yeah,
see shit.
you don't notice nothing. Audrey, were you going in or staying in the hallway?
I'll stay in the hallway currently.
All right. Uriah?
He's gonna stay in the hall in case someone starts rushing the hall to try to get to them.
Same swear.
Considering
All right.
he's in a mech right now.
Cortev, you step in. You see obviously a comms room. Nothing seems to be particularly amiss. Melody and Freddy, you step in, you're looking around, and immediately you spot one desk that doesn't have a keyboard. And you hear this ever so light tapping noise coming from like that workstation. And you're looking at the workstation kind of from what would be the back of the workstation. So like if a person was sitting there, they'd be looking, y'all be looking at each other, but
Hmm.
Interesting.
Let's see what I.
other than that, the room seems to be empty.
That weird thing. It's fine.
So it's basically, and the tapping sound. If I look at the computer itself, do I see any text appear in corresponding to that tapping sound?
Okay, so do you walk around to the front of the workstation?
I want to be able to see the monitor.
Okay. You see the monitor, and you also see a person crouched up under the desk, typing on a keyboard. Like very quietly, like they're trying not to be heard.
And I just
Regretting their life choices of a
politely
mechanical keyboard.
And I
Should've got the
politely
membrane.
squat. I politely squat down and. I'm afraid you've been found. Although I respect the use of classic technology, now was not the time.
Which language are you speaking to them?
What continent are we currently on? This is me asking the.
Well, remember, it's the planet is more or less one big
it's
supercontinent.
like it's
You're like way to the west of League territory, which is like the opposite side. East goes into Mat Shinar. West tends to be League.
I'll use the League language.
All right. She responds in the Shinar language, which you also know. But she basically just says, I don't speak. I don't understand you.
Well, good news. I understand you in the Shinar language.
Shit. I'm unarmed.
Just step away from the station.
She climbs out. She sets the keyboard down. She's looking kind of nervous at Melody since Melody's sitting there, even a half size mech is still real bulky for stand next to a person. Like elemental armor if you're familiar with BattleTech or
Yeah.
the Hulkbuster armor from Iron Man 2, something like that.
Yeah. She's in a walking forklift
Well, not
right
Iron Man
now.
2, Avengers.
Gotcha.
It'll fit through doors, but there's some ducking involved.
And looking at the monitor, what was she working on?
She was sending out a report on what had happened. That this base was compromised, and she was asking for instructions.
And
she has not received a response yet.
Turn to Tasha, your Melody, correct?
Yes.
All right, I just want to make sure I got the. Okay. I asked Tasha,
Awesome.
Melody, can we possibly track where that transmission's going to?
Yeah. Sure. And then she'll go and hack same D20 D6.
All right. Yes.
Beep boop 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 beep beep.
Um 28.
Okay. Once again, there is something actively working against you. It seems to be sending the signal more or less straight up. Which tells you it's probably a communication. They probably have a communication satellite.
Okay.
Now, whether it's a satellite they own or whether they're using like a civilian satellite, it'd take you a little longer. You'd have to spend some time kind of figuring that out.
And she'll tell Freddy that they have a communication satellite, so it's gonna take me a bit.
All right.
Meanwhile, out in the hallway, I need the folks in the hallway to give me a roll to see if they notice something.
Okay, just a spot roll, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember what all the little
Just
triggers are called.
yeah, it's still gonna be a straight d20 plus 2 roll for me anyway. So
Same. An 11. So
19.
Alrighty.
oh shoot. That would technically be a 13 for me. I
Oh.
forgot to add the grit.
Yeah.
And this one was going to be a contested roll.
22, let's go!
As Audrey just rolls a natural 20.
Well, that's okay, because that's actually good because they rolled a natural 20. Now, of course, Uriah would add his grit to... Oh, no, you already added your grit, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Okay,
17 plus 2.
I just noticed on the die roll you had the +2 already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got a 22 total with Audrey's.
Yeah, I got 22 total.
I don't see shit.
So, down the hallway, all three of you are kind of keeping a lookout. You hear Melody inside the room say, they've got a communication satellite. This is gonna take me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happens that Audrey just keeps looking. Where Tiana, you're, just a quick little glance. But as soon as well, not that they could see Tiana's head probably, but
Yeah.
as soon as Uriah turns his head, Audrey, you see a soldier, well, not soldier, one of the cultist guys. Though I guess he'd still be wearing fairly militaristic looking stuff as far as body armor and all. But he steps around the corner with one of those, essentially, think a futuristic law rocket.
Bazooka, rocket launcher.
Yeah.
An RPG.
It's the
Yay.
anti-mech weapon that the infantry guys carry a lot of times.
Yeah.
And nothing says that like it should be used in tight confines.
Crazy
Beware of-
cultists.
Beware, backblast. Wall is gone.
They're not quite so bad that his buddy's like leaning out behind him to see what's going to happen. They're going to catch the...
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen those videos.
Ugh.
I have not seen the aftermath, just the initial. He's standing there, and then he's not standing there.
Either way, it's not going to end well.
So, Audrey, you see him step around, so you can react to him before he actually fires. You could try to jump and tackle Uriah out of the way, though he's in a mech, so that would probably not be easy.
Trying to think of what I could do.
Now remember,
And we won't-
when you guys are in your mechs, you are still wearing body armor. You are still armed.
Yeah.
Right. You have gear you carry with you in case you have to get out.
I mean, if nothing else, Audrey would probably just quickly draw and just unload a clip in him, and if he can.
All right.
Though I do not know where that is on this sheet, or how
It is still just a die roll, and if you have a
Well, that's the thing. Like looking at the narrative profile, I don't see anything for weapons. I have.
Do you have fist to faces or assault?
Should be in your gear loadout.
I'm looking at it. It says medium signature.
Yeah, that's
No, no.
that's a
No, up higher under skill triggers.
That's medium. Yeah, it would. Yeah, that's essentially like your hack fix kind of thing you're looking for.
yeah, like take someone out or like get somewhere quickly. That's what you're
Do you-
looking for if you have any triggers to help you.
Hold on. Dude, it's
I
not
mean,
showing.
I've got spot.
No,
Okay.
no. Oh, there. it
That would have
goes.
added to your natural 20 then.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
It's there.
I mean, unless there's something else I'm supposed to... maybe it would help if I actually had it triggered into combat, but then I don't even know how to go to my actual person.
So when you do combat, you do end combat right there. Hit that, and there you go. And it'll be towards, like, for me, it's towards the bottom.
Yeah, and your energy, your medium signature is like a assault rifle or something like that you have that's an energy weapon or kinetic weapon or whatever have you, and you can use that to attack. You just have to roll a d20, add if any of your skill triggers work for it, and your grit, and if you have accuracy. So
Yeah, by say sis or you know what? I'm gonna say Audrey's carrying some buckshot with him, so he'll be carrying a shotgun.
Okay, that's
oh,
fine.
okay.
Buckshot.
Now, granted, where on earth and here I need to do things, I have no clue.
Well, with narrative, it's
You
not that. It's
can't-
not. There's not that much you do. I don't think.
Yeah, there,
Yeah,
in
it's just dice
CompCon,
rolls.
there's nothing that CompCon doesn't roll anything for me. You have to physically roll for narrative combat.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
It's D20 plus skill trigger plus your
Yeah.
grit.
Yeah.
And since you're using a medium signature, it just does 2 damage if you hit.
So, do you have any? Do any of your skill triggers look like something that might factor in?
I mean, I've got stay cool, which basically do something that requires concentration, speed, or intense precision under pressure. But that's like picking locks. Oh no, wait. With encroaching fire guards. So basically, if I'm in like high stress moments or anything of that nature, my person is just like, oh, okay then.
I will let that count for this one because it's such a sudden. He just steps around the corner and you clock what's about to happen.
Okay.
Where if you were in a regular gunfight with people, it would fall to having had it like the assault skill.
Okay. So that would be a
Seems fair.
plus. That'd be a +4 then to my roll.
Then it would be 1d20 plus 6 because you're adding your grid as well.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So I'll go ahead and roll again.
All right.
18 plus 6.
Contested roll to see if he get the shot off first. He got a total of 18. You got an 18 plus 6.
So guess I just do 2 damage.
You do 2 damage to him.
Yeah, this is my first time actually doing anything outside the mix, so my brain is like, what him
you're
do?
good, dude.
Yeah.
You're good, dude.
That's
Yeah, we have not done a whole lot of.
Well, specifically,
done,
they
like-
haven't.
Yeah,
You're true.
Yeah.
every time that we would do it, they would have to go off for a month.
Oh, I didn't realize that was how that had lined up.
Yeah, it's pretty, it is like
That's right, because first time y'all went forward base Achilles,
Uh-huh.
when you were at the base hidden under the farm.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember if there was another time or not. I'm sure
There
was.
was the when we snuck into the
The little prison camp. Yeah.
the prison camp.
Now, is he doing something that's audible? Audrey?
He's firing a shotgun in a hallway.
So, yes. So, Blammo, these two, and I'll run out and see and look at that scene. I'll have the drone just...
So what you see,
Uh-huh.
you hear that, you immediately, you hear that, and then you hear something, sounds like something metallic hits the ground. And as you're getting to the door, you see the projectile from this rocket launcher bouncing along the floor.
That...
Ooh.
It struck, clearly it struck the floor before it had spun enough to actually arm.
Uh-huh.
So it's just kind of skipping down the hallway.
oh yeah, nothing
And
says
it's got
fun like
difficulty to hit
why
portal,
is
it's
it
worth.
going down the hallway.
But say just cuz, like as it's skipping, Uriah is gonna reach down, pick it up, and just like underhand toss it down the hall back at the guy.
Well, unfortunately, you weren't aware anything was going on until it happened.
Yeah, I'll say.
Now,
I'm
if you want to make a roll for that,
I'll say if it's like still like at my feet when it gets to my turn.
oh no, it's going to
It's not
skip
that
down the
big.
hallway and out where the
Out
mechs
door.
are.
Fair enough. All right. I just figured like for the funsies, I do that, but if it's past
Our
me by that
mix or
point,
their
then
mix?
whatever.
The ones outside. Okay. Fun.
So Vika, you see the footage of this thing of Tiana suddenly spinning around and watching this thing skip past her, and then it rolls out into the bay where you are.
Vika, you've got incoming.
No, it just rolls
She
to a
looks
stop.
down at the one
Okay.
piddly missile.
Just making sure.
All right. I'll make sure to take plenty of cover from this. See.
They sent you a gift, sis. It's gift wrapped and everything.
Meanwhile, in the
And
hallway, everyone has to unclench briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Like-
And then the drone is firmly in front of everybody, so that any actual fire will have difficulty going at us.
Audrey just calmly loading another round, just like, well, here we go.
Can I do a very quick free action thing in reaction to this?
What is it? What is it you want to do?
Raya just as he like goes like, huh? Turns, looks back at the guy, and just
And the guy's looking at the face like he's looking where it skipped. He's looking at the dent in the floor in front of him, and then he kind of realizes he drops that and he starts going for a sidearm. As some other guys step around with regular guns.
I'm gonna take my shot then.
All right.
As he's looking down, like
Let's see. Plus. Why does it not show this on this page that I need it to be? Okay. I got a 10 to hit.
All right.
Yay, +6 takes someone out, +2.
All right. So the one you're shooting is trying to shoot somebody.
I'm gonna try and pop him in the knee.
Probably Uriah. Uriah's the big target in the hallway.
What about his kneecaps? He doesn't need those.
All right. So your shot hits. They rolled higher, so they get their shot off.
2 damage.
they have difficulty.
I forgot about them having difficulty with the shield. Be sure to keep reminding me of that.
I will.
So they had a 12. So they still get the shot off.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
So Uriah, give me a roll. If somebody is shooting you.
Okay. Just straight D20.
You have an accuracy on this because you're in the suit. Or in the not suit, but in the atlas.
I mean, you're not wrong. Ugh, 6.
Okay. You take 2 damage.
All right.
Uh-oh. But this person also takes 2 damage. There, rocket launcher guy took 2.
I imagine this is like a
This is one of the
mass
rifle
fire
guys.
weapon, and he managed to like stop a few, but got hit by more.
Yeah, I mean, he's spraying.
Yeah, but that's just my mental image of what happened.
And praying.
Oh yeah, he's probably definitely.
There's
doing that
probably
with
some
the mic
praying.
in front of him. And because cult.
Now, Car, does Tiana become visible?
Nope.
Oh no, wait, who was it that just?
Only when I take damage do I become visible.
Okay.
However, like unless it's my turn, I can't really move. So I'm still stuck there until it's my turn.
Okay. I have to imagine your gun would still have a muzzle flash, though.
Oh, like it's an energy weapon, so yeah, they would see
Or the
that.
laser beam.
I mean,
So they know
would
there's somebody there. They just can't
There-
visually
yeah.
see that there's somebody there.
Yeah, exactly. And like when I'm invisible, they can still try to spot me. They just get a difficulty, or I don't remember. I gotta remember. I gotta look at that. I will look that up while I'm.
All right.
I think the same mech status rules work with invisibility for pilots.
Okay. Audrey, you've got a guy shooting at you.
Okay.
Are you just gonna dodge? You gonna try to shoot him first? What are you gonna do?
If I can, going to see if I can't unload a round into him.
All right.
Stay cool still a
He-
factor or no?
No, this is just a regular gunfight at this point.
Alright.
Where the previous one, you were kind of quick drawing to get the shot off first. He does have disadvantage though, because all of you guys are under the shield drone.
Yes.
Though, admittedly, if they get close enough, they'd be under the shield drone too.
If they get close enough, it won't be a factor.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
But they also would have to deal with,
All right. Well, he got a 9, so he's missing. What did you get, Dua?
Please hold. Plus, so 14.
All right. And I'm assuming that your weapon does 2 damage as well. Well, it did the first time, so it's it's Tiana's weapon that I need to check. Does it do 2?
Yeah, it's just 2.
Okay. I think that's more or less with the standard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cortez, you were stepping up to the door when you saw the tink 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 go skipping by. And now you're hearing just gunfight now.
I think he just kind of gets to a spot next to his drone. His drone's good cover as far as he's concerned, and fires out with his submachine guns.
All right. You have 3 targets in front of you.
Yep.
All 3 have been hit.
Yep. I think what he does is he tries to he's trying to shoot them shoot one in such a way that it topples over messes with another person's firing. He's trying to show off is what he's trying to do. He hasn't had an opportunity to
You
do so in a
scream
while.
suppression fire.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be a difficult roll
Sure.
because you're trying to do something extra fancy.
He's picked up a little fancy streak lately. But I do have a +4 to my show off, so
Show off works then.
4, no, I don't get there.
Okay.
It's 10, 14, 16.
All right. So you yell suppression fire and thus don't catch any of them by surprise. I just picture you lowering your gun. Oh crap! I said it out loud.
He's just he has both of them like this. He's but it would have been cool if it worked. And he gets within his drone.
Inside the room, Freddy, what are you doing?
Hearing the massive gun battle that's going outside. And I'm keeping an eye on our technician that we caught.
Okay. And she does look like support staff. She's not wearing body armor. She's not wearing, doesn't have any weapons.
And I just gotta ask, in this case using charm, so what brought you into this group exactly?
I'm just picturing this loud gun battle going on outside, and Freddy just sort of leans up on the cubicle. So, how'd you wind up here?
Come here often.
How you doing? How you doing?
So I hear you cult girls are crazy
No.
in the best ways. All right. Go ahead and give me a roll for your charm then.
Here for a fun time, not a long time.
12.
Okay. She's gonna. Mom and Dad were part of it. Yeah, they got me into it. I was good with computers, so when they were setting this thing up, I just had to come here and work and keep the computers going. It's way away from anything dangerous going on. I thought.
All right, so I was just trying to get. I was just trying to get her dedication, just to see if I could actually turn my back if need be.
So like you said, she's talking like, oh, it's mom and dad. Like, I just grew up in this church. Yeah. She's not coming across to you as super zealoty as some of the other ones you've talked to. Like the guy you captured when they assaulted your base was, yelling about, basically yelling about how you couldn't defeat Ninurta. You couldn't do it. The Bull of Heaven couldn't do it. Somebody else couldn't do it. She hasn't gone into crazy ranting, so there's at least that.
She was doing it for the side money.
Well, if she stops going to church, then her folks get upset.
All right, and actually, radio. What's the situation? Do you have a count?
I'm assuming that's to you guys.
What?
Did I cut out there for a second, or?
He's like, of what?
Yeah.
You want the floor tiles? You want the dudes? You want the ceiling?
no,
How
I-
many bullets I just got shot with?
No, I think I actually cut out there at the same
No.
time
We
there.
heard you. Then there was just a pause. I don't know. I
Oh.
guess nobody knew who was supposed to answer.
And then
Now,
you
said
got
by
asked.
count, I mean a count of attackers.
Enough.
You see 3 at the moment, but those are just the ones that have stepped around from where the kind of the T in the hallway. So you don't know how many are down there. You see 3.
Uriah's description of that is enough.
All right. So what is Freddy doing? Well, never mind. You were chewing fat.
I
Yeah.
was chewing
with
the
the
fat
chick.
while we were all having a moment.
Well, largely, I just wanted, like I said, because I was pretty sure I was going to have to leave. I didn't want to get shot in the back while I was doing this.
Well, Melody's still in the room with her, and Melody's in a mech, so she's probably not gonna pick a fight.
Trying to get a Saturday night date.
Oh no, I was working intelligence, trying to get information like these digits.
Which, well, if you go by the Ian Fleming school, those are the same thing.
Fair. All right, so Melody, what are you doing now that you've heard the gunfire start up?
Well, she knows that there's people out there, so she's just going to keep trying to
Okay.
hack and.
Yep.
whatnot.
Oh,
So do I roll again, or
Go ahead and give me another hacking roll.
see if you can actually get into this to the full security of this base.
Okay.
Again, this is a difficult roll because you've got somebody actively working to try to keep you out of the system
Yeah.
for all the good that's been doing.
26.
All right. The base security does not feed through here. This is just comms equipment.
Mhm.
It's like there's I think air gap is the term they use. It's like their communication system is separated from whatever database or research stuff might be going on here.
Mm-hmm.
But you do get a better read on the satellite, and it's just a small relay satellite from best you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you send the message and then it sends the message and vice versa. So like you couldn't really pull what Uriah did. Well, you weren't there when they did forward base Achille. But so you couldn't really hack into the system on the other side because it's just sending messages back and forth.
Okay.
So with a little more effort, you might be able to pull up some of the basic schematics of the satellite. Which might help you identify, is this something they just bought? Is this some kind of weird tech?
Yeah.
How many, if this is what the thing looks like, that might help. Further down the road, might help Union or the League identify any other of these satellites that are in orbit.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody gone? Oh, I don't think Uriah has actually taken an action.
No, other than get shot at.
That's an action.
Or is that an inaction?
Well, he's gonna be very quickly inserting himself into their space.
And you gave me crap for what I was doing.
I think he was inserting himself slightly differently. All right, so you're basically just charging into him?
More or less. 27.
All right. They've already taken an action, so... Ooh, now how do we translate your damage into the narrative damage?
Kidding.
One of the things you might be able to do is like the mega damage from that, just basically just...
Oh yeah, like the, what do you call it? Like when in other systems where like an orbital weapon hits like creatures. Not
Let's
too
see.
far off from what's going on.
Because in the regular, in the mech combat, that sword does what kind of damage?
Does D6, depending on what stance it's in.
Okay.
If he's fighting a whole lot of guys, he would technically be in he'd have swapped to storm stance. So he'd hit the first guy, and then everything else, all the other enemies around his target and him would also take 2 damage. But I don't know how you want to narratively translate that.
Yeah, it's weird narratively translating it since usually you're already fighting
out of
dudes on feet.
Yeah, you're out of the mech. Yeah.
No, he's in his mech.
Yeah, but I think the
No,
narrative was intended for you to be out of your mech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they were taking half size mechs into
mechs.
account. But
I
but
don't
yeah,
know
since
how
all
you
these
wanna
guys are
translate
damaged,
that.
I'm gonna say you just take one out.
Alright, fair enough.
The rest of them are wearing a little bit of body armor for good that would do. Then I think about it, your sword wouldn't be oversized particularly.
No. I mean, it might be slightly larger.
It might be a little bit more of a Final Fantasy sword, but
Yeah.
Got the Buster Sword. Get him.
So yeah, you kill one of them. The other two are kind of screaming and backing away from you and spraying. You see another squad of guys, basically you're at the T intersection now. You see another squad of guys coming around the corner. They see you, and all but one of them pull back.
It's one of those scenes where you see like 3 guys pop around the corner, see like a giant mech, and nope.
Yep.
The guy that doesn't is the guy he's sitting there with another one of those rocket launchers.
Yeah.
Got another one.
They're gonna learn.
He doesn't get to act this round.
today.
He will actually. I will say. Free action speech. That didn't end well for the last guy that shot one of those. You want to join him?
A ping pong ball.
I can go pick up the rocket and hand it to you really quickly.
He does not fear sacrificing for Ninurta.
Oh, great.
Vika, out in the bay, you're hearing all of this gunfire through to Tiana's feed. You know, you're hearing Uriah talking to somebody. I don't know if there's anything you want to do.
Y'all good in there? Do you need an adult?
Uriah might.
You two from go.
He's older than me.
I am the adult. He's
That's to be
stabbing
seen.
Somebody else.
You just hear when Uriah says that. You just hear Satai say, "That's to be seen."
Yeah, she's staying out there. She's
Okay.
like, this feels like a trap.
I will. I'll hover the drone. Like I'll move it to be where Uriah is, and just. I'm not having it go off right now, but I am having it like gather energy. Like I am going to use my main weapon.
Spook him.
Yeah. It's an intimidation tactic more than anything.
Okay. So you're trying to intimidate him.
Yes. Like, just because it's both a barrier and it's also gathering like a lot of energy.
So it looks like it's got the,
I will fire my Nexus weapon if it needs to. But yes,
whatever that is that Goku used to do where
It's
he
a
throw
bunch
something
of-
over his head.
Spirit bomb.
That's it.
Bomb.
Yes, but also it's a lot of nanites instead of the people's energy.
All right, Uriah. Rocket launcher guy's about to shoot at you.
He's got difficulty now.
All right.
What are you going to do?
So, the T junction. Basically, I met that squad at the T junction.
Yeah, those two guys are still
God.
standing kind of on either side of you, backing up from you. And then down one of those side hallways, so you're the only person that can see him at the moment,
Okay.
is the guy with the rocket launcher.
I'm just gonna try to dodge it.
Okay. Alright, so just a dodge.
Yeah, I doubt I could like grab a guy and hold him up in front of it.
I'm not sure. You probably can make a roll to do that. But this is like an anti-tank weapon, so a dude held up in front of you isn't really going to shield you any.
I figured as much.
It's really just going to get your mech painted with, bits of
So-
guy.
Clears out one of the dudes.
Now, you can deflect with your sword in mech combat. If you wanted to take an act, if you wanted your action to be to try to deflect the rocket back at him, I would let you try that.
I'll roll that dice.
All right. Now this is a contested roll, so you have to beat him. He does have disadvantage because of the shield, though.
Right.
And he got a total of a 9. So can you beat a 9?
I got 22. How's that?
He goes, phew. And the rest of you hear the rocket launch, hear the launch. And all you see is this just brief flash of something metallic almost get to your eye and then ching. And then you hear a muffled explosion down at the other end of the hallway.
I like to think the field like slows time enough for him to like be able to like he sees it. He's fast. He's fast, but it's like a slow field.
I'll work with that. Like it slows down. He's just like, really?
So yeah, that guy disappears into a huge cloud. You hear part of the roof caving in. There's a big dust cloud.
Guess we have our way out.
It flies through. You're covered in dust. You guys lose sight of him. Dust runs down y'all's hallway. A little bit drifts into the comm room. Vika, you see a little poof of dust. And y'all can feel a slight tremor, like through your feet when it goes off.
You right? You good?
Everybody all right?
I'll say as the cloud like settles a little bit, he'll just look down at the two guys like backing up from him. Is like, so are you done, or do we need to keep playing with you?
I just imagine that there's an outline of dust around Invisible Tie. It's just like, really?
There's an empty space in the air over there, shaped suspiciously like a very large person.
Starts dusting herself off.
Oh no, wait, you're not in a mech. You're just a body armor, so just a person size.
Yeah.
Little person
She's in a
size.
stealth heart suit. Yeah. What?
No, your eye will legit look at those two guys, or two individuals.
Well, you can't see him when the dust rolled over.
Oh, is it still rolling over?
You guys don't even have name tags. Just lay down.
So the dust blows past, and it takes a few seconds for it to pass. Once it's clear, you don't see those guys at all.
Okay, fair enough.
They clearly took it as an opportunity to run away.
Footprints in the dust.
That's cool. Let's go. Well, that was fun.
You good, Uriah?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, and y'all see the dust starting to clear, and your eye's still standing there.
He's
Little
like,
warning before I go blind, please.
Yeah, well, I tried to warn them, but they're like, oh no, I'm going to shoot the guy in the mech with a rocket that's been known to deflect bullets and cut down things much bigger than me. But no, shoot him with a rocket. That's a great idea.
This guy's not a lancer.
In all fairness to them, they hadn't seen you in particular yet.
All right, so this hallway is clear.
And partially caved in.
Yeah. When you get to that T-junction, you pretty much have to go right because Uriah destroyed left. Hope there was nothing important in any of those rooms.
I'm just destroying something.
I wouldn't have
go.
a rocket launcher in a room that has important stuff in it.
So,
That's all I'm saying.
so there's the T-junction, and then there was still 2 more doors in this hallway, or...
It's more of an elbow junction now.
Yeah.
It's just an L at this point.
Yeah.
I think from your description, there's 3 more doors.
Yeah.
I think you said there was 4.
Yeah, and then but between where y'all came in and that T-junction, there's 3 more doors.
Oh, okay.
Well, y'all do what you gotta do. I'm just gonna stand out here and play catch the rocket, I guess.
I have a
You do
I have a
it so
question.
well.
I have a question, Jason.
Mhm.
My annihilation nexus is described as it's nanites of filament rings that are so sharp they slice away their targets at the molecular level. Would I be able to excavate with that?
You'd be able to cut through walls, but as far as a big pile of debris, you'd probably just be cutting it into smaller chunks.
Okay. Just wanted to
So
make
that's basically hitting like a monofilament blade sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it would slice through, but if you're dealing with just a pile of junk, it's just going to shift the pile a little bit.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
But doors and standing walls, you could probably make a hole.
Good to know. The visual effect is often compared to tinsel being fired through atmosphere.
Tinsel.
So it's a very deadly confetti cannon. Got it.
Yes. Which you already knew that. You've seen Cortev use it. I didn't see the description here until like just now.
All right, so yes, y'all are standing in the hallway. There's 3 more doors.
I'll just have it. I'll have the drone join Uriah.
3 people are still in the comms room. The technician's a little freaked out by the explosion. The gunfire, bad enough. And now there's been an explosion. Freddy, you see her start praying. She does not want to die in a cave-in. In fact, the way she's talking about it, you think she may be claustrophobic.
So don't put her in the mechs. Is there any way we don't?
Air.
What were you saying, Patrick?
Is there any way we can get back in touch with our main base, or are we currently blocked?
Melody's operating a comm system. There's a chance that she could send a broadcast rather than directing it to the satellite, that she could send it to the base.
I want her to keep working on that, see if she can track down where the transmission is going.
Okay. So you suggest that
at this
to her.
point? Yeah, because so we can at least try to get an idea of at least where another base is located.
Gotcha.
Try one of the doors.
All right. Base is locked down, so of course it's locked.
And also, I will let the other team know I have a technician prisoner in here.
Alright.
All right. Tiana, you can give me a fix hack to get the door open.
Which she does not have.
Okay. So you check the door. It is indeed locked shut, like all of them, like the other one was.
Yeah. Let me get it. I'll go fix hack it.
Okay. It is a difficult check because, again, there's somebody in the system actively trying to repel y'all.
Sure.
So you need a 20.
Mm-hmm. I get 20 exactly. 4 plus 2 plus 14.
Door opens.
What's in this room?
Through the code, you can make out this phrase, Rassafracken Bracken.
This seems to be, I was about to say life support equipment, but that's overstating it a little bit. This is like the environmental controls for the base.
Atmospheric pressure and sort of.
Atmospheric, it keeps up with pressure, it keeps up with humidity, it keeps up with temperature. It's just kind of the AC. It keeps up with. Actually, give me a. That's what at a glance you can just tell. Okay, this is all that kind of equipment.
Who wants to turn the AC off in the building?
We're gonna sweat them out.
Someone who's currently sitting in a 90-degree room. No thanks.
It's swamp ass for everybody.
Under a mountain, probably comfortable.
I cast slow internet.
Sarah makes a fair point. It'd probably get cold in here if you turned it off rather than warm.
Yeah,
that's true.
Stagnant and humid.
Yep.
Let me turn up the heat.
I got a 10 on my perception check.
Spot, whatever you want to call it.
Spot, yeah.
Were you wanting to say something, Duba?
No, it was a comment towards Carr, but I'll say to him.
Oh, okay. I just thought I saw your hand come up like you were trying to get my attention.
No, it was more the fact to which I got the reference.
Oh, I get it. Anyway, so you, Cortev, you made your spot.
Yep.
You kind of glance over, okay, ambient temperature. They're keeping the base fairly comfortable. It's having to work to keep the humidity down. But you notice there's also records for some rooms that they keep the. There's different settings. Some rooms are. It like keeps up with how recently they've been disinfected, and it seems to be like an automated system to disinfect the rooms.
Would it come to trying to phrase this? Would it make sense to me that it would be those are specifically the kaiju rooms?
Well, they couldn't get the kaijus into the base.
Okay.
Deeper into the base.
Anyway, I
But
can
it strikes
use-
you as that's the sort of thing you might do in a lab, especially if it was a lab dealing with
Yeah.
biological samples.
Yeah.
I think I'll keep track of that information.
You also notice what are clearly a set of freezers that are kept very cold. Now, what you're looking at in here isn't telling you where this is at in the base. It's just a monitoring station, and they're just the things are just numbered.
Okay. What's the number on the ones that are kept below freezing? You knew I was gonna ask. Why even?
They are just U 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. I'll point that out to whoever's in here with me. Like 1, 2, 3. Those are below freezing.
And since you all know the Shinar language, their name for freezers basically starts with the U sound.
So, freezers 1, 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it looks like we're going to be investigating freezers then.
Well, if they couldn't get the live ones in here, are there parts in there?
Could be. I said they could get live. They could have brought not mature specimens. They could have fit immature specimens inside.
Cryogenically froze children.
Or like you said, they could have brought in parts.
See, I'm not in there, so I can't comment. I would be having a field day with that information.
Well,
I'll share it with
Ty
you.
is-
Kaiju parts.
If-
Yay!
if Ty is in the room with Cortev, she'd be taking down the notes. Just
Okay.
Like he's
on her data plating.
he's showing it off on his on his comm unit, just being like, those are freezers.
Eric's thinking that's probably going to be dangerous.
Well,
It usually is.
You just hear is like, do you happen to know for what?
I
Not
actually.
here.
Do you know where
One
they
of the
are?
things. Sorry.
It's okay. It's one of the things.
What were you saying, Eric?
Jeremy, Eric, continue.
They'll go, do you happen to know where they are?
No.
Sounds like something I need to go find.
Oh boy.
And now I actually ask our technician, how well do you know this base loadout?
I mean, I've,
Do you
I've
know where the
been here
labs?
for a while.
Do you know where the labs are located?
Oh, sure. I mean, the basic layout and stuff. I'm basically like maintenance for the computer systems. I don't think I should really be helping you though. I think I'm supposed to give my name, rank, and serial number or something. I mean, I don't have a serial number, but
Yes. Any particular reason, with all the conflict going on, any particular reason why? No, I guess this is me, Patrick, forgetting. What was the name of the deity they have?
Ninurta.
Why would Ninurta want this war to continue?
He's using it to mold the people of this world. And that very much sounds like somebody just repeating a statement they have heard over and over again.
True.
Doesn't sound like they believe in dogma.
She doesn't sound like sarcastic or.
She doesn't have all the info.
And she doesn't sound like she's poo-pooing, her parents' belief or anything. But maybe she's not as super into it as like, the dude in the hallway that was like, "F it, I'm going to shoot this thing anyway."
Ty is going, if everyone is okay with it, Ty is going to, one, make sure the dust is off of her, and two, like, go down the hallway until it starts turning, and just see what she can see down the end of that. The only way they can go. Still stealthed and everything.
All right.
All right.
So you go down, past Uriah, down the only viable passage now. And when you hook that corner, you see it looks like they've been piling furniture, computer equipment, like larger pieces of equipment. Basically trying to make a barricade in the hallway.
Do I see any people?
Yes. There are people hunkered down behind there, guns out.
How many do I see?
Oh, there's 5 behind there. And
take a step back.
3 of them are with their guns out. 2 of them are still like walking to the side rooms and pulling stuff out to, increase the size of the barricade.
I'll let the others know. I don't have to talk with my data plating, so I'll just let the others know silently what I saw.
Give me a roll to see what you can hear. Because they're a little ways off from you. See if you can hear them talking.
Okay. Just a 20?
Just roll 20.
Just roll a 20.
One guy is just flat out complaining that mechs were able to fit into the base. I mean, that's just not fair, and he's very upset about it.
It's like we need to make the ceiling like another 2 feet shorter.
That's the GM stand-in.
And he sounds fairly hopeless about them actually being able to beat you guys in a fight under these circumstances. But and one of the other guys is just reassuring him. Look, we don't have to beat them. We just have to delay long enough for the scrubbing protocols to finish up.
I have sent that through the data plating to everyone else.
All right, Speedy, it's on you.
So I think we have a little bit of a more urgent issue than finding where their base is right now.
All right, Melody. I assume you just heard that.
Yep.
I will actually walk up. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't get your name.
The DM going, shh.
I thought they'd burst in and shoot everybody.
Let's be murder hobos. Oh wait, they're being diplomatic. Shh.
Daria. She doesn't give a last name.
Apologies, Daria. Basically, from my little printer, I basically pull up, like, basically more or less restraints. Can't.
When you pull handcuffs out or whatever out, she
Yeah,
you know.
I secure her and says, "Well, I do apologize, Daria, but I'm gonna need to assist my partner there."
So she
And I go over.
She handcuffed. She walks over and sits down in one of the chairs.
And I go over to Melody, and basically, since I also have hack fix, I'm giving her advantage, more or less.
Okay. So
Essentially
Melody, if you'd like to
assisting.
make one more roll on this comm
And
equipment.
essentially see if we can stop the scrubbing protocol or whatever.
Well, remember, none of the comm equipment is plugged into the rest of the base's systems.
Yeah,
there's that air gap.
Dang.
So she can she can take one more roll and get that last little bit of information that y'all want for the to figure out about the satellites they're using.
30.
Headgum.
Roll the 20 on the D20, and I have the +6 and the 4.
The computer person on the other end of this is terribly upset and really impressed.
These are my really good curse dice.
You essentially have like the IT person on the other side of the line. Why did it just feel like I just got elbow dropped?
I think I'd have an entire team. Clearly, I'm working against an entire team over there.
Uploads a ha 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 ha.
And if they were to look at the
emoji.
cameras, they just see one person there, and that's it.
Freddy prints out a top hat and a cane and is like doing the Warner Brothers frog dance in the camera.
So you managed to get a whole lot of
Hello, my darling.
you managed to figure get basically the specs on this satellite. And just glancing at it, you can research it more later, but glancing at it, it looks like it's probably civilian model stuff. It's a little out of spec, so it's probably something they bought and modified.
Mech.
It is not necessarily any of the weird horsey stuff y'all been running into.
All right,
Okay.
So what did I miss?
Melody just bodied their IT guy, but we're gonna need to head to a different terminal because we're still under the communications network.
And they're trying to scrub the network of all of their data. So,
Yeah.
Hey Uriah, how is your sword against a barricade of furniture? And 5 guys.
Clear
But
The kind of like more bulky left gauntlet armor lights up as a blade of basically condensed fire comes out, and it's like, which one?
well,
Never mind. We have to go somewhere
around
quickly.
around this corner is about 5 guys and a barricade of furniture and IT equipment. So
Deal. And he's gone.
Uriah, all of a sudden, his mechs turn red, and as he turns around the corner, all we hear is, "Oh yeah!"
And if he is actually doing that, she's going to step around the corner and fire at one of the guys and then step back around the corner.
All right, give me a roll for that.
+6 +2. 25.
All right. So you step around the corner. Those two guys are still talking. Oh, go ahead.
Just in spite, I pop the guy that's trying to reassure the other one.
That was who I was going to have you shoot anyway. So you're around the corner, and he's basically still talking to, hey, it'll be all right. Yeah, well, we may not win this one. But any of us that die, serving Ninurta will be blessed afterwards. And then his head explodes.
Around that same time, may I utilize a not so much a skill trigger, but a pilot talent thematically.
All right. What is it you want to use?
So basically, I was going to round the corner. And like as he's about to like turn again to that other hallway, he's going to kick off the wall to basically like the wall that would face down that hall.
Okay, gotcha.
Then activate his all theater movement suite in the mech, which allows him to fly. Then
Don't you
basically
have
turn
get
on
somewhere quick?
I do. This is what I'm saying. The thematic thing is to do this.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You can definitely use anything your mech can do for fluff.
Yeah, and he's gonna turn on the afterburners and basically just full ram the barricade with the mech.
All right. Give me a roll on that. You may throw in your get somewhere quick. I'm going to say this is something that your mech would help you with, so you will have accuracy on it.
Okay. 12.
You smack into the barricade, and it's, I mean, like I said, it's office furniture, it's lab equipment, it's just, So it just goes flying. It knocks all the guys that were behind it down. So they're all just sort of sprawled out on the floor.
Gentlemen, do you surrender?
They don't.
Does one of them say that? Does the guy who's like down on his luck is like, they won't?
I think he does. I think that is the guy that says it. They won't. And then he rolls over and starts kind of trying to scramble to his feet. He's clearly running away. The other guys look like they're scrambling for their guns wherever they drop their guns.
I'll say just real quick, last bit of my turn. As he's like gets him look like he's scrambling away, Uriah literally pointing the sword at that guy, going, "You can live."
Thank you.
So that was Tiana and Uriah. Cortez, what are you doing? Your drone is you basically latch your drone onto Uriah, right? It's following him.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
I'm having it follow it. I think if Uriah goes for an intimidation ploy, he will assist, because I think that room is too small for the Nexus to properly go off, and there's probably sensitive stuff in there that I don't want to explode.
You don't want to make the scrubbing protocols unnecessary for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we were going to wipe the computers, but he just vaporized them, so that works.
So instead of vaporizing them, I'm just gonna, because the way one of my other talents works is that it is targets I choose within blast 2, I think, of the drone. They're all just gonna get a nice little shock.
Okay.
It's just 2 damage, 2 energy damage.
Okay.
Bow. Pilot flickers a little bit.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
It is not a roll.
It is a narrative play.
That's true. All right. Well, let's see. Okay. I don't think I have anything for this, but it's okay. Nope. That's gonna be a 4.
That's with your grit?
That's with my grit. I rolled a 2.
Ouch.
I mean, do you have assault?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
So it sparks up, but grounds out in the walls or something.
I guess that's smart to have in the comm center.
Or else it went off while it was still moving up to get behind Uriah and just couldn't quite reach.
Fair enough.
Let's see. There's
It will stand there and give the shooters difficulty, though.
All right, Audrey, are you moving up with the rest of them?
Yes, sir, I would be.
All right.
Oh.
Now you can take a shot. You can run up and see what The barricade was basically built right there at where 2 rooms are across from each other, because that's where they were pulling stuff out to make the barricades. So you can attack one of the guys that's on the ground but scrambling for his guns. You can check out one of the side rooms, whatever you want to do.
I'll investigate a side room. Why not?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a spot. I mean, you'll see basically what's in the room regardless, but
I mean, I got a +4 to spot anyway, so hey.
all right. So
Anyway,
you glance one way, it looks like a room full of barracks. Or yeah, looks like a barracks room. It's like two essentially kind of bunk beds. Just living quarters. So that's just with a glance. You duck into the other room, and it looks like a workshop, lowercase w workshop. Engineering equipment around. Some computer stuff, engineering equipment. This is like a room they would be actually like assembling parts in. It doesn't have any of the like fabrication stuff where they'd be making the parts, but
did I notice anything of value?
Well, considering we're in a post-scarcity society, no.
Well, out here in the fringes, sometimes you might be able to sell stuff. But as far as like kind of your rarer or more specialized equipment, there is some of the equipment here is clearly designed for dealing with nanomachines. Let's see. Oh yeah, y'all don't know what those look like. You see one partially assembled something that it looks like a small, like almost like a small computer board with all these little threads coming out of it. I say threads; they're clearly metallic.
So who's in the room right now?
Audrey's by himself in that room. He stepped past y'all into this room and is looking around.
All right.
Would Ty know what those are? Working with HPs or no?
Well, when you get a chance to walk in there and look, you might.
Okay.
Freddie and Melody, are y'all moving forward with the rest of them now?
Yes.
You've basically gotten everything useful you're going to get out of the comm center.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I instruct Daria to proceed down the hallway. You'll meet our mechs and another member of our team down there. Just remain there until this is over.
Okay. So yeah, you see her walking out towards the.
And I have Radio Vika. We got a prisoner coming out. Her name's
Guess I'm a
Daria.
babysitter. All right.
Actually, it's Darya, Darya.
Don't worry, Dario. He gets my name wrong too.
Well, she can't hear that because she's not plugged into y'all's comm systems. So I guess if y'all are using wrist things, it might be. All right. So Freddie and Melody, when you round the corner, you don't see Ty sitting there with her gun out, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Uriah is just standing there. This barricade has been smashed. There's one dude trucking it down. Rounding a corner, just running away. You see a couple of other guys scrambling to grab their guns. You see Cortev, you don't see Audrey.
Somebody's missing.
Also, the guys scrambling for their guns. Would it be possible to get in between me and the guns? Basically,
Yeah, Yeah. They're a little disoriented from what happened, so yeah, you'd have an opportunity. If you've got to get somewhere quick, that would help.
I do not.
Okay.
So. Oh, I don't.
Nope. Melody, what would you like to do?
No, you're in the goblin right now, so
There's not much I can do unless I want to shoot my launcher.
if you
I don't know.
if
I don't know
you
how
have-
well that'll go, though.
yeah,
Well, now you
if
can always
have-
run up and get physical with them. Remember, these are just dudes, and you are in a mech.
mech
A
suit.
small mech, but a mech.
And yeah, a good go.
With
and
your sensors, can you detect? Would she be able to detect their active computer systems with her sensors?
It would require a roll.
Because at least we'd be able to know where the scrubbing protocol is, so we might be able to stop it.
do I roll the D6 as well or no?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You're using your mech sensor, so the mech's definitely going to help you here.
23.
Uh,
That's because I don't have anything for detecting or anything like that.
well, just baseline sensors. Yes, you pick up a lot of computer activity. There's no active terminals in either of these rooms. And Audrey, where you're in the one room, you can see where there were terminals, but they had yanked some of them out of the wall to help make the barricade. But there is a room a little bit further ahead of you, Melody, where you detect an active terminal. So you could probably interact with the base's main system from there.
Okay. She'll point at the room like that's the one I'm gonna need to go to.
And it's further down the hallway and like around the corner sort of thing. But
yeah.
All right, so all of y'all are there together. Daria's by herself, but she's been instructed to walk out. And there's really nowhere else for her to go. Which completely ruins my plans of having her pick those cuffs and try to sneak past Vika. Probably wouldn't have worked very well, but so Vika, you see this, young lady kind of come. Her hands are cuffed, but she just kind of peeks out the door at first. And she sees all those mechs, several of them moving around, probably turning to look at her. She just kind of leans out the door and kind of holds her hand up. Don't shoot! And then she repeats it in the League's language.
Koke Rabbit, you're probably far less threatening than I am if you want to keep an eyeball on her.
So the largest mech in the room turns and just focuses on her.
Hey, the largest mech in the room doesn't have like a giant spear and an moving liquid cowl.
Oh, come on. It's just a spear the size of a flagpole. Point it right at her. Don't move. Or you hook it, or you use the spear and you hook her handcuffs, you lift her and put her on top of the dog.
Is there like a chair or anything in the hangar?
Yeah, there would be.
Just sit there, and I don't know why he sent you out here, but welcome to the shit show.
You just see like one of the small manipulators on the dog just wave.
And now I'm just picturing like little T-Rex arms. All right, so back inside.
Although, really, when she says that, I don't know why you sent you out here, and then righteous gunfire just erupts from down the hallway.
There's plenty of gunfire before.
Yep.
So are there any of those guys left, or have they just like ran off? And
There's still a couple of them scrambling for their guns.
Okay.
Yeah. I just love the roll to grab them.
Yeah. But all of you guys are there, so I am willing to say that, y'all can, enough of you can dogpile them to easily render that useless. It just kind of depends. It kind of depends. Does Uriah kill them before they can do that? Is he feeling war crimey? Well, actually, this wouldn't even be a war crime. They're going for their guns. So. Basically, you can take them alive if you want to.
He specifically said that the guy who went nope and left, that was the one that got to live. So unless told otherwise, he's going lethal with these guys since they're going for weapons.
All right, so heads roll.
Heads roll.
Freddy's running up and trying to stop one. It's like, oh.
I mean, there's still that guy. Points the bloody sword to the guy who's leaving.
Well, he's out of sight now. He got around the corner.
Yeah.
And Ty is going to go into the room where Audrey is.
All right, this is clearly a workshop.
Another location workshop.
Give me a roll. Let's see. What sciencey skill tags do you have?
The only one that I would technically consider a science is patch. Everything else is pertaining to getting somewhere quick, not being heard, and taking someone out. So
patch. But,
I mean, she's worked on.
Actually,
she's made her own.
Actually, I think patch would work.
Oh boy!
Add your patch to it.
Oh dear.
Would I get any bonus for working on NHPs or anything like that?
No, but I can think of something that would give you an accuracy.
So, yes or no?
Yeah, go ahead and give yourself an accuracy.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify. 14 with a natural 1 on the 20 roll. I got a 14!
Not too bad. The chip thing that I had drawn Audrey's attention.
Mm.
You recognize that this is an oversized model of something.
Is there a terminal that is not ripped out of the wall? In this
room. But this oversized model, if it was smaller, those little like metallic threads, they'd be like, made of not nanites, but
monofilament.
Yes, they practically be monofilament. When y'all were examining the previous samples of those other kaiju, the implant had self-destructed. But you could easily see this being, like I said, an oversized model of one of those implants.
Can I pocket it?
That's oversized, so...
Yeah, oversized is something like that. If you got a pouch, a sort of pouch.
Well, I mean, she does have her medical pouch, so she
it would definitely
put it in there. Yeah. So she'll Audrey will see it's on the table. He'll look away and go back, and it's not there anymore. And there's no one else in the room. And is there anything else in this room that would be beneficial?
Not really.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a workshop for putting stuff together, but you don't currently... There's not like there's a box of parts sitting around.
Okay. Well, Ty's going to do what Ty does best and just go down the hallway towards the door that Melody pointed at. Keep an eye out.
Melody, you were moving towards the room that you were pretty sure had a terminal in it?
Yes.
All right. You have no problem getting there.
Okay.
In fact, when you get in there, this looks like a security room.
Okay.
It's
Do I notice
odd that there's
anybody
nobody in
there?
here right now.
Okay. I don't
But-
hear anything either. No typing.
No, this room is
Not
empty.
hidden. Okay.
I know it's very possible that it was the security guys at the barricade. Who knows?
Okay.
But they've got a terminal in here that is still operational.
Alrighty, and we'll hook up into it and see what we can do.
Okay.
Quick system recovery.
27.
27. It is, of course, a difficult roll because someone's acting against you, and once again, you have just embarrassed them. You jump into the system. What are the scrub protocols? Scrub protocols are where they erase everything off the computers.
As you just imagine Melody through the comms. You can type all you want. The code floats to the top. Oh yeah.
But, and you can see where most of the system's information has already been deleted. You put a stop to what, you stop that portion. But you also see that the protocols also involve physically destroying samples. Which is not something the computers themselves would be doing. There would be personnel doing this.
I will say into the data plating to them, there's somebody destroying physical samples, guys.
Where was the guy running? Was he running a particular direction?
He was running away from y'all. That's really all you can tell.
Was he?
Is it
Melody
farther
is
down
in the security thing. She can actually look at the hallways.
Was he running? Did he pass us running away when we were entering, or was he going deep?
No, he was going. He was already on the other side from y'all.
Okay.
If Melody looks for him on the security stuff, all she sees is him still trucking down hallways.
Melody, can you see anywhere where they're destroying samples?
Alright, she's going to try to look through to see if she can find where people
Okay.
are destroying samples.
Give me a roll.
Um, 28.
Okay.
These are my really good dice. I use them against my tables on Sundays, and they complain that I kill them all the time with it. So it's the perfect game to use them.
Why do I suspect that Rappy bought a pound of dice from somewhere and then did the water check to see which ones
No,
tended to roll high?
these were a birthday present from Dulba.
Why do I think Duba bought a pound of dice?
I think
And
Duba
then
bought
did
weighted
water check
dice
them.
and didn't tell her.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm
But,
crafty.
I'm
Pretty
not that
dice.
crafty.
but so yeah, you pull up. The cameras watch the hallways. They do not watch inside the labs or inside the particular rooms. But you've also got if I can talk, you were also able to pull up a map of the facility. Hey guys, you might want this. So everybody's got a map of the facility now.
Hey.
Hey.
With the
Yeah.
labs clearly marked. 2 of the lab doors are open at the moment.
Which means they probably destroyed all the samples in there. How many labs are there?
There were 3.
Okay.
Question.
From the schematics, you can see each lab has a freezer.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, where y'all were seeing the freezer things, each lab has a freezer attached to it.
Hey, Ty's making her way to the 3rd lab.
I would
The
also
one
like to
that-
get there. No, go ahead.
Yeah. To the ones that Basically, the one that has not been open. Let's
Okay.
proceed to that one.
All
That's
right.
the one that Ty's working towards.
Yeah.
Y'all are running through the hallways. You're not running any more armed personnel. You pass some more of those rooms that are clearly living quarters. You pass, just glancing as you run past. There's kitchen areas. There's the stuff you'd have to have for people to live somewhere. Only seems to be one community shower though.
Dude.
I mean, it's a large shower room, but no individual stalls or anything.
Oh God. As we're leaving, are we in the? We're in the communications, right? For the base.
That's back towards the entrance.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's not the room y'all are
Have-
currently in.
Have a
Do you have-
public transmission of like, hey, we're doing a thing. Please don't mess with. Don't interfere.
From the security room, you could access the in-base intercom. Sure.
Do we pass any of the other labs on the way to the last one?
You do. There are people moving around in both labs.
I'm gonna stop at the first one and poke my head in. Does it look like they're destroying anything in here?
It looks like they're done, and there's a guy like hustling. He as you peek around, he's running towards the door.
She's gonna put her back to the wall as he runs out.
He runs out. He steps out of the hallway. He sees all the rest of you, screams, turns, and runs away.
She's gonna continue down towards the third one.
And this guy has got like a lab coat,
He does the whole Looney Tunes slight skid to a stop, turn around, and runs
Yeah.
away.
So I had to run to the restroom. Did we determine where these samples are?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a there's one lab that's not getting has the doors closed. The other two are open, and we can assume that the physical samples are being destroyed right now.
Because they're a part of the protocol was physically destroy the samples, something the computer program could not do.
Okay.
and you have a schematic of the base, so y'all can get anywhere on the base you want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Fairly
because
easily.
Uriah would not be moving at human speeds.
No, Ty's like way behind you, but she's like running, and I'm assuming that freaking Uriah is already there at the door, cutting the door down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Freddy.
He might just be knocking. Hello.
I mean, if you count a
Uriah is
Knock
the one
hello.
that knocks.
if you count a knock hello as the door is coming off its hinges,
just the like burning flame sword, just.
I for fun rolled get somewhere quick and I got 28.
All right. So where are you getting to quick, Cortev?
That lab.
Okay.
I got a 23 to get to that lab.
Yeah.
All right.
With-
Well, you
get-
took
get
a little
somewhere
time to peek around.
Yeah.
By the time you were
After
doing that,
that,
Uriah's mech was already just whoosh down the hallway.
Yeah.
Cortev, you get there very quickly. Realistically, you couldn't keep up with the Atlas
Oh
though.
no, absolutely
No.
not.
But you run by the two labs. The two open labs. The rest of you coming up behind. Like I said, you see the guy come out and kind of skid to a halt and take off. Though Uriah and Cortev were already past by then.
there. Jeez.
I'll also
In the other lab across the hallway, though, somebody's in there. Still seems to be busy working in there.
well, I can work in there. This lab is the one that hasn't been touched yet. Are they like working, or are they like? Does it look like they're packing stuff up or destroying stuff?
Well, you just ran past it going to the last lab.
Oh, okay.
This is one of the ones
Yeah.
that y'all saw was open, but there's still somebody doing work in there.
Well, if-
Understood.
If seeing as I'm on foot,
Yeah.
it would take me a second. Could I stop and look and see if they're actively destroying something?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was about to ask that question too.
So, Freddie and Tiana are both gonna peek into the other lab, and you see a guy. He's got sample trays that he's just loading up into this machine that you recognize as a.
Like an incinerator.
It's less that it incinerates than it sterilizes.
I'm
Like it wouldn't
Ty's
destroy
maybe gonna-
physical matter as far as like the metal trays and stuff, But biological samples, it will wipe
Ty's
them
going to
out.
immediately run towards him and stun baton the back of his head. To stop him from putting more samples in.
As soon as you start running, he hears that. He turns, he looks. He doesn't see you, but he sees Freddy at the door. So he turns around, slams the thing shut, and is going to hit the button. Give me a roll.
Okay.
I just imagine Tiana hits him hard enough, falls into the machine.
Oh, Lord.
15.
So he's going to hit the button, baton to the back of the head. Psst. He's just going to face plants up against the side of the machine and just sort of slides down.
And she
Little bit of drool
swings it
left
open.
on it.
And she swings it open.
Freddy walks over, prints out more manacles.
How many
Locks
manacles
them
does
up.
Freddy carry around?
Well,
Oh, he's got that. Never mind. You've got that hip-mounted 3D printer. Never mind.
Yeah, it's basically my toolbox
And-
is basically just might as well be a
and-
replicator.
With Ty's medical history, I'm assuming that this needs to be put on ice immediately.
Yes. It's not like you don't have to be in panic mode. But this stuff's supposed to be frozen, so yeah, put it back in the freezer.
Where's her?
She puts it back in the freezer, but
I
she
get-
looks around. Is there any kind of canister that would like long-term travel? For
They do have that sort of equipment.
awesome.
And you can
She's like prepping one of those.
And
I
on the
give
floor in
Tiana
this
some
room, there are empty trays where he's clearly already been nuking stuff and then pulling it out and like just chucking the trays to one side. But there are still several sample trays in the freezer. Most of what you're seeing looks like little thin wafers of probably brain material. Because when you're studying that sort of thing, you cut them really, really fine, so they're easier to examine.
Yeah, but she's immediately putting them back in the freezer, and then she's prepping the boxes for however many that she was able to get.
Okay.
I'm giving her a hand. So
Okay. So you have preserved at least a portion of the samples that were in this lab.
Cool.
And captured one of the scientist guys because he's laid out. Whether he'll remember who he is after taking basically a souped up taser to the back of the head, I don't know. But
Stud baton from like the second mission. She just kept.
Uriah, you're at the door. You've blown past everybody else. You've blown past the two open labs. You've blown past the guy that's running away.
He's about to blow past that door too. Yeah, he's not stopping just open. He's just going through the door.
Alright.
As I see the blur of Mech, and I'm going to gently remind him, not that it's going to do anything. We need those intact.
That's the damn plan.
Doesn't look like it.
All right, so give me a roll to see if you can get to the door. If you go through the door, if you bounce off of it, because
It'd be funny if I bounced off of it. Not gonna lie.
It would be.
I will have a cackle. What's okay? So skill triggers. Why am I on tactical? No, narrative. Assault, get somewhere quickly. So assault or get somewhere quickly. Would either of those work?
I'll let you use get somewhere
Technically-
quickly. I'll let you use get somewhere quickly.
I'll say technically like I'm assaulting the door too, but however you want to count that. 25.
You hit the door and it just goes down in one chunk. It's like the door is not damaged, but the door frame is wrecked.
The
Works for him.
hinge is gone.
He's immediately going to check the like sample container wherever they keep
It looks like this lab has been untouched, like they had not gotten to it yet.
Okay.
well, it was untouched until you got there.
Does how big is this sort of like freezer thing?
It's walk in. Oh, it's probably 20 feet deep, 10 feet wide. There's shelving all along the side, but you have those trays.
Okay. So not small enough that he could just pick it up. Okay.
Oh yeah. This is like a walk-in freezer. This is a
Yeah.
room that is a freezer.
Okay, the second you said walk in, oh, the whole room's the freezer?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a lab, and you have this like freezer room attached to it, to the lab.
Okay. I was about to say, because if this whole room was just the freezer, he would not have been busting that door down.
No. You bust down the lab door. There's like lab. There's equipment for examining the stuff and dissecting the stuff.
Okay.
I don't.
Sorry,
think
when I was
it's gonna
saying freezer,
matter.
I was literally picturing some of the freezers at work. I should have described that better.
Gotcha.
I forget.
I was
Most
right
people
there
say
with you.
freezer and they think something the size of a refrigerator.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was right there with you though.
I was thinking like a large freezer, like with big like hinge you open up or whatever, and it's got like.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the lab
second-
has some of that kind of stuff, but no, that was not what I was talking about.
I don't think it's gonna matter, but Cortad's gonna put the door, just replace the door that was destroyed with the drone, the shield drone, just in case.
Cool.
Because Uriah did Uriah things.
Yeah,
Man, don't like to stay still. What can I say?
I respect it.
But yeah, he's going to. Considering this is probably biological samples of the kaijus or the megafauna, he will actually disembark from the Atlas. Sort of leave it just standing there,
Mhm.
kind of to physically block the doorway as well.
Just think, if you had an NHP in there, it could go on guard.
Hell, it's
um,
This
As
is
long as
totally
it's
in
not-
character.
no,
as
yeah,
long as
absolutely.
as long as it's not the NHP from what is not the Tortuga.
Blackbeard,
Yeah, the black. It's
Yeah.
literally just
Sekhmet.
Yeah, it's a corn berserker in a mech trench coat.
You can borrow Koke.
She'd have too much fun with that souped up thing.
She would cut you off. That's what would happen.
When
Or would
Coke-
she just
when
make
Coke-
embarrassing dance videos with his mech? Who knows?
Yeah.
Koke's in the Atlas. Just
Cocatless.
think of the flowers.
He is going to do a survey to see, check freezers in good condition, see if they have basically what Tiana's doing,
Mhm.
is seeing if they have the portable stuff where he can start. He's going to load as many of these things in as he can.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
And
number
yeah,
that turns out
they
to
have
be.
got equipment where they can move this stuff if they had to.
And what he will also do as well is, since he does have his copy of one of his mini copies actually of everything related to these megafauna, he's going to basically look at the brain scans we lifted, thanks to, again, Natural 20 from Tiana. And he's going to see if he can find something that matches up to the areas where the evidence of the implants were. Like, see if they, because this is a lab, it's probably all organized by what was where.
Yeah, it's pretty well organized.
So he's going to try to find those sections first
Okay.
and prioritize their removal.
Give me a roll if you've got say patch covers medical stuff. You've got something that covers
I
science and
have
stuff.
I have xenobiology.
That would factor in.
I made a specific tag because of his now focused study of these things.
Now, you try to do this relatively quickly, or are you just taking your time?
Oh no, he's taking
You're
his
like,
time with
screw it, the
because-
guys can handle the rest of the base.
Yeah, this is his shtick. He's
Okay.
absolutely taking his time to make sure he gets what he's
Ty
after.
is after everything is prepped and ready in her room. Ty is going to look and see if there is any physical paper documentation or any kind of data pad in this lab anywhere.
There are data pads.
She's going to take one and see if there's any data on it.
It has been wiped.
Okay.
Clearly, the data pads are plugged into the base system.
Okay, so all of them are wiped.
Yeah, all of them in this lab that you find. Yes.
Are there any physical paper, like someone writing out a note, or like a clipboard,
That really.
etc.?
Or is this place like Star Wars where there is no paper?
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, Star Wars has paper. You're thinking more Star Trek.
Yeah.
No, the original Star Wars, there was no paper. George Lucas was firm on that.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Even the expanded universe, I don't think really broke that until you got to the Disney era.
Yeah,
Makes
because
sense.
Disney runs things. But that's enough of that.
Anyway, not in this lab anyway.
Okay.
All right, so while Tiana and Uriah are basically focused solely on the labs, what is everybody else doing? Cordev?
Cortev is there, is in there as well. That's why he has a shield drone just kind of like there. But he's like kind of, he's looking, but he doesn't have the same hyperfixation that Uriah does. He's mostly just there to make sure, if people start walking by, he kind of like pushes the drone menacingly
All right.
and that sort of thing. So he's on watch duty.
All right, Freddie.
I'd like to investigate the area we're in. Essentially, look for, in a lot of ways, labeling would, because even if they wipe the system, the labeling for things would still be something that would stand out.
That's fair. That's fair. Go ahead and give me a spot. Or the equivalent of that.
And with Tybee having a stealth suit, if she were to pick up this container of samples, would it turn invisible as well, or would it be just Ty walking down the thing with a canister?
If you were carrying like one tray of samples, it would probably fade in with you.
Okay.
Carrying the big bulky freezer units, yeah, that's going to be pretty obvious.
Wait a minute. That freezer unit is walking down the hallway. Stop that freezer!
Is your freezer running? You better go catch it. Ha 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 ha.
Ah.
And they decide, no,
I'll take my
I see my
negative
freezer
12.
running, I'll just shoot it.
I'll take my negative 12 to my next roll. It's fine.
Well, I got a 21 for the investigation roll.
Yes, the samples are labeled. They tell you what species they are from. What species, what lobe of the brain this is from, which specimen it's from. Though the specific specimen doesn't help you much because what specimen was what is probably on the computer.
Yeah.
But the lab y'all are in, these are from some of the flying creatures. I'm blanking on what they are called.
1 second. Family of Volunsterorum.
Right. Was it Sky
Otherwise
Terror?
known
Flying
as the
Terrors.
Flying Terrors. I absolutely have all three of those things you sent me saved.
Yep. And it seems to be multiple. They have samples from multiple species that fall under that big group. But trying to think if there's anything else. No, that's probably the useful information there. So you can pick and choose if you want. If you can't take everything, you could pick out. Well, we'll take the Predator version, samples as opposed to the scavenger, because there are scavenger species and more predatory species. Now, Audrey, Melody, are y'all hanging around in one of the labs? Are y'all continuing to explore the base, or what are y'all doing? If you're talking Rappy, you're muted.
Sorry. Can I get any more information out? Like, since I stopped the thing from wiping, can I copy or send that out to?
Oh yeah,
our
give me another humiliation roll for my IT guy. I mean,
Humiliation roll.
fix hack thing.
This 5 don't want to move, so it's 28. 28.
So yeah, you make a copy of what files are left. You don't have time. You don't have time to go through them in detail right now, but you've got a copy of them, and you can send a copy out to everybody's comm units. But you can pull that. You can look around the rest. Now that people have found, now that the labs are secure, you can glance around the rest of the base. You see several more of the science guys and that one trooper that's still running away. They all seem to be moving towards the back of the base and escaping through a doorway back there.
I'm going to let Vika know that there is an exit at the back of the base.
Well, the base is built into a mountainside. Or, large hill, small mountain, whatever you want to call it. And the base isn't deep enough to go all the way through, so you don't know what this thing is, what they are escaping into.
Yeah.
Might be a tunnel that goes all the way through, might be a natural cave system. Whatever it is, the security people here don't have cameras in there.
We have a map. What is that? What is that called?
It's literally labeled the equivalent of backdoor. Now, what you see of the people going through the door, most of them aren't carrying anything more than maybe a backpack with them. This looks like a mad scramble to get out, not like they're sneaking a whole bunch of stuff out. Clearly the security guys are staying behind, and a couple of the scientists were staying behind for the scrub protocol. It looks like the rest of them were just getting out. And with that, the base is effectively empty. It's just you guys, a knocked out scientist, and Daria sitting out with Vika.
Well,
And Vika, she's sitting in her chair, and then she turns sideways in the chair. Eventually, she's basically upside down in the chair, feet up against the wall, head hanging
As
down
long as she
towards the
doesn't
floor.
try and remove the
Are we
handcuffs.
done
She
yet?
doesn't care.
She seems to have
I
trouble sitting
want
still
to-
for very long.
I want to check out
He's used
the
to that.
back door.
Okay.
Can I get some backup? Basically, I'm asking if someone else to give.
Busy as someone
we-
else.
What are you looking for?
I just need some backup because I want to check out the back door to see where these guys are going.
Melody will
yeah.
go with you because she's
Okay.
done with all the
Alright.
hacking.
Ty would probably pack up the sample she had and make her way to where Uriah is, so that
Well,
she's
you-
in there by herself.
You didn't
Though
have the,
before,
Go
though
ahead.
before Melody's finished with the computer, she's gonna send a picture basically saying, haha, try again another time, and then
What a jerk.
link off.
Want to later meet this guy, and he's just hacked Melody's systems, and it's just like,
We
fuck
get-
you.
He just gets a email. Today's curb stomping is brought to you by Melody. and viewers like you.
But yeah, Ty's packaged hers up, and she's going to where Uriah is, so that she's not in a room by herself.
All right. And this back door, I assume it's just a escape tunnel.
When you open it up, well, it's open when you get there. It looks like just a bored tunnel. You follow it back a little while, it opens up into a fairly large natural cave. And there are track marks on the floor of the cave. By the time you get there, you're probably not hearing any machinery. But clearly, they had some kind of small vehicles. Think something on par with like a 4-wheeler or a golf cart, or
Yeah, I was about to do an investigate to see if I can actually look for tracks or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. There's
however,
not really any dirt back here, but there's some dust. They've done some work. They've obviously smoothed some stuff out, made a path for these vehicles.
Pulling up a topographic map, more or less where the hill mountain we're at, where would be the most likely exit point of this?
If it's a natural cave, that's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
But if they were making a path, the quickest path out, you can kind of trace where that would be.
Because we still have some air support because we have the one transport waiting by to pick us up.
Right, because the other one was loading up they were loading up the kaiju and stuff, and most of the science crew in the other one. Yeah. Now this is a transport. This is not a combat craft particularly.
Yeah.
But it could do a flyby, and they could fly and drop a couple of drones off.
Yeah.
Because y'all did have a supply of drones.
And then some.
So you're gonna radio back to the base?
Yeah, I radio back, let the air support know possible exit point of additional enemy troopers.
Okay. So you go back. Your personal comms don't really reach outside. They can reach Vika, but they're not gonna reach all the way back. You go to the comm station.
Yeah.
And probably have Melody hack into it. And you manage to get a signal out that way. All right. So yeah, you can take your time now, pack stuff up. The transport comes by. They drop drones. It turns out it was really easy to spot where they came out, because they had a concealed aircraft there.
Yeah.
I know. And once they got out, they took off. Like I said, transport's not a combat vehicle. It couldn't really shoot them down or anything.
On the other hand, if we have any access to orbital satellites, we might be able to track the plane.
Well, they definitely called it in to Union.
Command,
Union this is not an area that's going to have a whole lot of satellite coverage because nobody lives out here.
Except
but
for
there's
the one
probably
we found.
something. Yeah. But that was probably put there for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
And not a lot of satellite coverage doesn't mean no satellite coverage. The planet does have kind of a GPS sort of thing set up. So
Something's not nothing.
yeah.
Yep.
So you load up the portable freezers. Think of them as kind of big trunk-sized things that are normally plugged into the base power source, but they have battery backups. They can go for a few days just on their batteries.
And some of the other guys here, we could probably jerry-rig just in it. Honestly, we could probably even plug it up into the cooling of the mechs if we need to.
Yeah. Y'all definitely got the technical skills to finagle that if y'all had to. Fairly universal power adapter, so once you get them on the transport, you can just plug them in. It's going to be crowded on that transport, though.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of, how many of those samples I get a hold of?
A big room full of them. Between the the freezer equipment in that room and the freezer equipment in the one lab that they did completely wipe out, because they weren't destroying that equipment, they were just destroying the samples. You can actually carry out all the samples that you found.
That's what he's gonna do.
Let's see. Those guys are dead. So yeah, it's just the technician and the
Scientists we captured.
scientist you captured. So you load them up. Once the escaping cultists get away in their craft, the y'all's flyer comes back and kind of lands close to the base. Because at this point, you're pretty sure, you've been in the system. You know they don't have any kind of air defense or anything really to worry about.
Clear
Yeah.
everybody out.
Yeah, so y'all can load up in the flyer, head back. It is a long trip back.
Yeah.
Your unconscious prisoner, of course, wakes up a few hours into the flight. And it's kind of like he jerks awake, he looks around, he panics for a second, and then just kind of like...
How's your head?
Feeling better?
It hurts, but I will live. It's better than being shot.
Uriah walks over, crouches down in front of him, and was like, "That's just grand."
Uriah.
What?
I may have given him a concussion. Let him wake up first.
Wait, I've got stems.
How about we don't?
Not yours.
No drugs, please.
No, there's.
She'll
No
pull out like a.
painkillers.
I was about to say she'll pull out like a bottle of painkillers and be like, okay, and put it back.
Honestly, I was half expecting Tiana to pull out a spray bottle. Bad Uriah, Brad.
Don't tempt her.
Fine. I'll just go back to my studies. God.
You can interrogate him later.
Fine, I will.
And I'll actually ask him, well,
Ty just looks at Vika like,
well,
really?
how long have you been studying these creatures out here?
Give me the roll to see how charismatic you can be. Because on the one hand, he's a cultist that hates you for being non-believers. On the other
21.
hand, he's a science nerd, and you're asking him about his science.
I rolled the exact same thing I did last time. 21.
21 it is. So he seems hesitant to talk to you on general principle. But you keep asking stuff about his specialty, so he starts talking a little bit.
Yeah. If you want to get information out of, if
Just
you want to get
imagine, like-
information,
Sorry, go ahead.
if you want to get information out of an engineer, just ask him what he does.
Yep.
As he starts talking, you just see Uriah like a statue, not moving, just back into frame.
Just sort of lean back into frame. Like, oh, he's talking.
More or
I don't want to
less.
startle him.
Mm-hmm. There may or not be a notepad out, and he's just diligently taking.
He's been studying them for a couple of years now. They are fascinating creatures. It is a shame they have not been studied in more detail by everyone on the planet, basically.
Oh, what sort of interesting discoveries have you found?
Oh, he starts breaking down into the weird adaptations they have for this and which species does this, and why is this predatory species so heavily armored? What are they trying to protect themselves from? It seems to be a bit much for it to be interspecies, as far as just protecting themselves from other of thems. Since observation has shown they don't tend to fight each other much. For territory or mates occasionally, but it's not a big thing. That's it. 21's a crit, so you're gonna get some useful stuff out of him. He goes into some of the research that was done in the previous war for trying to weaponize them and why that failed. And he lets drop that the way they did it, he doesn't give technical data, but the secret was apparently tapping into the pain centers. The previous attempts some of the governments have made were tapping into pleasure centers. This is not a big motivator for these things. But negative reinforcement is apparently the way to go with them. And they one of his early projects, they figured out how to do the same thing to the turtle cows, but that's not particularly useful.
It's just non-aggressive.
Herd animals, you have to do a lot more to them to really make them. I mean, you could try to have them stampede, but if you've got the choice between spending all those resources capturing and committing surgery on them, are you going to do that to the herbivore or to the ones that can spit acid and bite through mechs?
And what would I actually say the breakthrough in your research really was? Besides the understanding their negative reinforcement.
He starts going into some of the technical aspects. He names off one of the other doctors that had theorized on how it might work. And then some of the priests showed up with a revelation from Ninurta of how to do the actual technology.
So you were researching this independently, and then the priests arrived.
Well, he was still researching it for the he wouldn't call it the Cult of Ninurta, but
The church in his case.
He was already one of the followers. It was just a project they were working on. And once they kind of knew what they needed, Ninurta provided after that. It's like agriculture. You have to sow the seeds yourself. You have to put the work in yourself. And then Ninurta blesses you with your crop or whatever.
So Ninurta's a god, but what kind of god is he? Or she? Or it? Or they?
We do know it's a he, but it's got many purviews of the hunt.
The hunt, agriculture, war. I think I've done research on the name.
We did do that research.
Much like Ra or Horus, it is a deity from Cradle.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's one that you actually have less information on than some of the rest of them. Because it's older than some of the rest of them. But yeah, it was basically a Mesopotamian deity. Like I mentioned, y'all found some of their little holy symbol iconography.
Iconography, yes.
And yeah, it's like your typical kind of Babylonian king with a braided beard. And it's like a profile of him in like a circle with some decorative stuff on top and like bird wings to the side and tail feathers down. There's some variation. Sometimes it's a human head. Sometimes it's a bird's. It's got a bird's face. On the otherwise man figure. And then sometimes it's an actual dude. Basically matching up with the ancient depictions. Once you get back to your base, because you're a couple days traveling, and he's, like I said, he spills a lot of the beans, but he doesn't go into any of the technical details on it. The stuff he knows is like top secret. It's top secret.
This is back to forward base. Or
I know
back
y'all
to
are back to the
ours.
y'all are back to the main. Y'all are back to y'all's home base at this point.
Main base.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from there, the kaiju will be shipped out to whatever research facilities.
Got it.
Because y'all were, Union was doing this in cooperation with the League.
Yeah.
So you get back. Commander Jellicoe is real happy with your work. You brought in all the samples they needed, plus all this extra. You shut down a cult base. Nobody's happy to know the cult was that active. On the opposite side, they thought that was mostly a Shinar problem and starting to get into the front. But now apparently they're just going wherever they want to. He's not pleased.
And we give him the data on basically the civilian satellites that they were using for communication.
Yes, them and the League are starting to do a search. The League leadership Union has suggested sharing that particular information with the Shinar. Because the Shinar have already come into conflicts with this cult. This cult's apparently a pain in everybody's backside. So Union is trying to convince the League, let them know about this. The more of us that are shooting down these satellites, probably the better.
Ty is going to have Rabbit try and make a schematic of the device that she put in her bag before she hands it over to Jellicoe or whoever needs it.
But yeah, you had a day or two flying back.
Yeah.
So that's plenty of time to scan the thing pretty decently. Of course, if it's the weird tech y'all think it is, you may not be able to make your head tell sense of it.
No, but there's a blueprint just in case.
Yeah. And Rabbit and Cocaine might go, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And then they babble incoherent nonsense at you that you can't understand. So once back to base, you unload the prisoners. They're under Union. Union is basically taking charge of these prisoners. And they're non-combatants, so
Yeah.
So y'all get a little bit of downtime. Now I think before y'all went on this mission, Vika and Uriah had gotten a communication from their cousin Ustav.
Yes.
I don't think y'all had responded before y'all went on the mission.
No.
No.
Uriah responded. We got the message after we got back from hunting the turtle cows.
Okay.
Yeah, basically he said that it basically boiled down to, hey, thanks for sending the message. It's been a while. It's nice to hear from you. Can't really respond at the moment because we're out on mission, and you know how much I hate basically writing any report with complete information.
All right.
That's basically what the gist of it was. Basically, that's when you were like, what was that roll for? I just made a random roll when you popped that up, and Uriah basically went, he's trying to steal my work, and basically told him, hey, I don't know too much yet. He's pulling a Tiana. He's stalling for time.
Okay. So like I said, y'all got a few couple of days of downtime here.
Yay.
I did say what I was going to do already. Although I'm not sure how viable it is now, since all of the chipped ones got shipped off.
Mm-hmm.
Because
What is it you were wanting to do, and we'll see if you have time to maybe sneak into it before they get shipped off.
that's the thing. Had I rolled less than I did, and he decided not to lie to SSC, he would have tried to sneak it. In this case, he will flat out tell Commander Jellicoe that, hey, these 3 that we captured, I currently have direct control of their implants at the moment.
Well, I assume you'd put that in your write-up. You had days flying back to write up the reports.
This is not something going into a write-up.
Oh, well,
This is something that he does not feel is secure being on a digital document, and that he will police Jellicoe's room to seal it from like listening or whatever, and he will tell Jellicoe face to face.
Okay. Well, he's very interested in why you, why you didn't put this in the report. You explained the whole security, your security fears to him. And certainly they've had a couple of security breaches, so he kind of understands.
Yeah.
He doesn't think Union itself is overly compromised, but he can't say the same for your League allies.
Speaker, are you there with him?
Unless he invited her, no.
I mean, Uriah would have. He would ask Speaker to be there with him.
Okay, Beacon can be there.
As long as you want to be.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Main reason why I wanted to say this face to face, not over any kind of digital medium as well, other than security fears, and that I have current direct control over their implants. He'll slide him a copy of the last message they got from their cousin.
Okay. It was fairly vaguely worded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he looks at it. Okay, personal message from family.
That's not what it is.
Okay, what is it? And he starts looking at it closely like he's trying to look for any kind of obvious ciphers.
Per the terms of the contract that my sister and I were signed under, he is our handler.
What kind of contract have you signed? And is this going to be a conflict of interest?
Any flora, fauna, or genetic information that could be of use to SSC's eugenics program, including potentially the acquisition of said planet should the need arise, I am to report it to them. Thing is, I've found a project worth my time, one that I wish to pursue, and I do not wish my work to be stolen. Given our long-standing history here, and more to the point, just so Jellicoe understands severity, Uriah currently is sitting still.
Okay. He notes that as okay. This is Uriah in serious mode.
Given our long-standing history here, despite my quirks, you have been at least rather lenient with me and understanding with what is left of my family.
It's been a struggle sometimes, but you get results, so.
So I feel at least confident enough in the fact that you would be a better commander for our talents than the ones that handle us at present.
Are you trying to get him to buy our contract or something?
That'd be the easiest way to do it.
I could go back and murder them, but apparently that's frowned upon.
It's also a very
Yeah.
long trip.
Yeah.
It'd be the legal way to get us out of this conflict of interest. I can only buy so much time before they send Duskwink agents here.
Jellicoe's just holding the brow of his nose and leaning back. The last thing we need is is one of the corporations getting involved here.
Yeah.
I mean, the baronies
Because
are already
lie to
sniffing
'em.
around with the Shinar, but
The last communication I sent was that, hey, nice to hear from you, and basically what the code was is, thank you for checking in. It's been a while. I don't have much of anything that would be of interest to you to report. Is basically what I sent them. I effectively lied out my ass.
you stalled.
Probably doesn't help. I'm also currently working on designing a Lancer frame.
Well, you do keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
It's better for everyone if he does.
Yeah, Jellicoe just nod.
So that's the crossroads we find ourselves at.
I will have some of
Effectively,
our security people go through the data we've collected and see if we can pick out some stuff that you can send them to buy some more time. After all, the basic biological information about these creatures, not top secret. I mean, some of that stuff is already floating around. We won't be giving you anything about the implants themselves.
I mean, I have it already. I just haven't sent it.
Don't send
Don't.
it.
I'm not. That's my work.
We
gets
will
a
give you a
ping.
packet of information that you can send.
Uriah gets a ping at this moment. That's the schematic of the device that Ty had Rabbit scan.
He literally pauses as one of his eyes kind of like flickers a bit with a bit of electronic light. And is like, speaking of,
No, not knowing anything that's happening. She's just in her bunk checking it out.
Oh, hey, I just finished this. Here you go.
yeah. Something else.
Well, Uriah, Vika, I appreciate the two of you bringing this to my attention. I would have preferred that you not take this job with this conflict of interest, but I understand when a corporation has you under their thumb, it's not a position I envy you for.
You didn't exactly have much choice.
That tends to be how they get people. I can't make any promises as far as buying your contract out. I will speak to my superiors about it. But that's. He's about to say above his pay. He's about to say it was above his pay grade. But post-consumer society, does he have a pay grade?
Above his rank.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So to be fair, expressions might have survived.
Yeah.
But he'll run up the command structure and see.
All right.
There's only one person he'll have to talk to about it. Planet side, but they may have to send something back to Cradle.
Yeah, look at this way. We can get them SSC secrets if they ask nicely enough.
I mean, we are from.
He will include that offer.
We are from the original Cradle world of SSC from their first colony. So.
From the world or from one of the stations?
Well, the remnants of, the remnants of our family that survived the destruction of Opal made it onto the station.
That's just fancy stuff that probably doesn't matter too much outside SSC though.
Couldn't
That's
hurt.
like being like, I was related to Columbus.
Either way, they hold bloodline in very high regard, and ours is long.
No, I got you.
Sorry.
No. And it's like he understands it on an intellectual level, but it's not a cultural thing with where he's from. So he's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're willing to turn double agent on him,
Maybe triple agent at this point, but
he's a little concerned about the possibility of them wanting to acquire the planet. Though he doubts they would try. That Union is so focused on this planet at the moment, it'd be really dumb for one of the corps to try it. You know, just a flat out takeover.
a
You're
long
right.
game.
I mean, you're right. He cringes like, well, that's the thing, is whenever SSC decides they want a planet, they show up with an entire fleet. And usually a large one. So they might.
Above my rank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can try to stall them as long as I can, but
eventually... And like you said, he'll get the security guy, or it's not right.
Fed him BS once, feed him BS again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their intelligence people will get, like I said, we'll get you a list of stuff that you can send out to them to at least make it seem like you're getting legitimate information for.
If you need me to tell them what to look for,
he'll put you in contact with them, actually.
okay. At this point, like, you notice his hand, like, at least the biological one is starting to shake.
I don't know how things are going to go long term, Uriah, but as long as you're here on base, things will be fine.
Yeah. I got a project I'd like to go work on.
That's fine. Take a couple days. I'm going to give the entire workshop a couple of days.
Okay.
Which is fairly normal for when you get back from mission anyway. But he's not being extra magnanimous, but talk.
Magnanimous.
Thank you. Speaking of that couple days, what do y'all do for your downtime?
Did we rank up?
Yes. At the end of the day, yeah. At the end of this session, you will rank up.
With the couple of days, could we do? Is it 1 or 2 things that we could do?
Let's see. Is there a specific day requirement here? Yeah, I don't think there's a specific. Yeah, unless it takes place over an especially long period, players usually only get to make one downtime action per downtime.
Okay.
So if y'all had weeks off, I'd probably let you roll a couple.
Oh, I know what Ty's doing, and I'm going to go ahead and roll for it.
All right, what is Ty doing?
Ty is scrounging and bartering with an 11. So you get what you want, but you choose the price to pay: time, dignity, reputation, health, comfort, and health, comfort, and wellness.
All right. What is she looking for?
She is looking for something that is that she could easily get her hands on by working to get it. That is a high dollar item to pay off her what we talked about for her.
Okay.
The rest of them do not know. And she's going to sacrifice her health, comfort, and wellness for it. So she will look ragged for a little while.
What should that translate into?
I will leave that up to you if you wish.
Well, yeah. You're gonna be, the looking haggard and ragged, and you're not obviously not sleeping enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like she's using the funds that she got from the last couple missions that she's done, and then also this to pay off.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
sizable chunk, I should say.
All right. Okay, so you gather some parts, and you put something together. It might not be that high value deep into Union territory, but it's something you can go into town and sell to the locals for a pretty penny. Sarah, what would Vika like to do?
She's gonna go see if Kortov has any more information on that sample she gave him.
I think that for the first day he's like actively avoiding her. He doesn't want to give the news. And then one day she just catches him. Like, oh, hey,
Big
good to see
menacing.
you.
Trust me, it's not gonna be worse than anything else I've been told.
It's not great. There's a lot of potential in there, and
So
reading up on some of the other, or getting some information from some of the other Horus mechs, that is par for the course. I mean, mine just kind of folded out of space and then folded back in as that.
man, I hate potential.
Potential sucks because it's
Yeah.
like potential is a loaded gun.
She just starts kind of chuckling. Oh yeah.
And at any point it can just take over.
Cool.
I had to be really careful getting into my cockpit a few times because that thing took off some of my hairs. You'll notice some of his, like, the tops of his hairs are like he's like brushed a little bit, but there's like some snipping. Looks like it's been snipped a little bit.
At least it isn't a bald spot. You can say it's some kind of stylish off-world cut.
Yeah, there's spikes, but they're not spiky. They're flat spikes.
Well,
Just
Oh.
that day I all of my drones deployed at once. It just almost took my head with it.
Try to keep your head. At least
I
one of us in this group has to have a level 1.
could say the same about you.
So Vika's advice is slouch more.
Yeah.
Hunch your shoulders, become the shrimp. Assume the posture of a giant shrimp.
Yep.
All right.
No, let's hope nothing comes of it. Maybe it'll just forever be potential and never a product.
I would strongly advise against any. I'm saying this to you. I would strongly advise against any structural damage because that is, from what I'm reading, a very common trigger.
Like picking a scab.
Yeah, like picking a scab too much, and just next thing you know, you're burning with nanites.
That's gonna be a fun couple of days. Next time we get to go out and play with our machines.
And I would say good luck explaining that over there. Just Uriah kind of like doing something with like the animal parts.
You have no idea.
I'm not related, so I'm just gonna do my thing, but that's I'm not blind to your plight, is what I'm saying.
The same stuff that's in there is the same stuff that took his arm and more. So let's see what happens.
I don't envy you. Pat's, I guess, the like right here because he can't reach your shoulders.
awkward path. Yes. Worst that can happen is he just owns me, never talks to me again.
Siblings do that all the time. Or so I've been told.
And what does Cortev spend his couple days off doing, other than avoiding Vika?
Mostly consoling Vika. God darn it! I
Which doesn't take that much consolation.
Oh well. One moment, I have to hit admission. Okay, here we are. I think God. I think Kurtev is just gonna. So the last time Kurtev did something, he got that information through that connection to learn about the Horus information. Mostly the information he is now given to Vika, and has for himself now.
Okay.
So I think he's just lying in wait for that favor to come in.
Okay.
I don't think he's doing anything in particular to like avoid it. But I think for as far as he's concerned, he's gonna try to get creative. As far as like an actual like downtime role.
All right.
I think he wants to. I think he wants to try to like. It's not anything major. I think he just wants to custom fix his cockpit so it doesn't chop off his hair.
All right. Well, the get creative role is to give yourself a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you wanting the reserve to do?
I think I want the reserve to. Would that be able to give me like an extra core that I can use on the next mission?
I think there is such a thing. Core battery, an extra battery that allows the second use of the mech's core system.
Sounds reasonable then.
You can also use the get creative to do like what I did with my NHP drones, where they follow me. So
I'm just.
It's not. You can make a custom one.
I think Kurtev just wants to have a second use of his. I think he's trying to make it to where he's like trying to like fix the top of the cockpit so it doesn't like chop his hair off. But like in reality, he's giving himself another use of the thing.
Give me a D20 roll.
Let's see. Would Fix come into play with this?
Sure.
Okay. That's cocked. Oh, that's not much better. That's gonna be. Do I get there though? 3, 5, 9. Nope, I don't get there.
You don't make any progress, but the next time you do it, you can treat it as a 10 to 19.
I think he's like not looking over his shoulder, but just kind of like doing rough sketches and mostly using his time to get ready for whatever favor is getting called in.
All that avoiding Vika the first day, you were a little short on time.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Audrey, what are you gonna do in your downtime before you get shipped off?
Thematically, he'd be probably assisting anybody in base with projects or anything that needs to be built, things of that caliber. Or aka get creative as the downtime activity is.
Like the get creative is about creating reserves for yourself.
Yes.
You know, basically like one-use item sort of things. Or things like the Tiana's drones being able to walk around with her. Though I could kind of see that being something like. Okay, yeah, give me a roll and get creative. You helping people will give you a better will potentially give you like a better reputation. People around the base will know you better and like you better.
Unless you just want that to be more of like a get connected kind of thing.
Oh yeah, get connected does sound like that might fall into more.
If
what I was
you
thinking
do
of.
get organized, excuse me, never mind. That's making an organization. But it says it begins with a +2 in either efficiency or influence. So that's why I was. It's whatever you want to have it roll as. I was just looking.
Go ahead and roll and get connected. That'll get that.
Alrighty.
That will give you a reserve that is essentially, being able to ask somebody for help or contact somebody for knowledge or resources or whatever.
Now, you saying that specifically, I do have something called pull rank. Basically, all that is pull rank on a subordinate, getting information, resources, or aid from them, even unwillingly. You can use on anyone's social status, noble, celebrity, etc., or military rank. So, don't know if I can add that +4.
Yeah, that would
to the
factor in.
roll. Okay, cool.
And then you'd add your grit too. So
That would give me a +6. So, d20. 12.
All right, so your contact will help you. No strings attached. Treat this result as a 10 to 19 the next time you get it from the same organization.
He rolled a 12, not a 20.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard. I apologize.
My apologies.
It's okay. Your contact will help you, but you've got to do a favor or make a good point on a promise afterwards. If you don't follow through, treat this result as a 9 or less next time you get it for the same organization.
All right. So you can call in a favor from folks on the base. And when you use it, whatever mission you use it on, basically that next downtime you would have would be spent doing a favor for them.
Understood.
So you get this contact you can tap, but when you tap it, you're giving up your next downtime essentially. Melody.
Yes.
Excuse me. What is Melody getting into for the next 2 days before her and Audrey are shipped off to God knows where?
I don't know. I guess just probably fixing stuff around the base, upgrading their computer defenses and all that shit to not get hacked as bad as she hacked
Okay.
other
Let's see. What would that
people.
be? Let's see. Get focused to the skill thing. Connected. Yeah. Roll me a get creative. You can use your hack for this.
Okay.
You don't get a bonus from your mech. You don't get a bonus. You don't get that bonus from your mech though.
Okay. That's a 20.
All right. And you added your grit.
Oh no. What is my grit?
Your grit would be a 2.
So that's a 22.
Okay. All right. You finish your project before the next mission if it is especially complex. So I'm going to just write down that you have increased base cybersecurity. Like you went in and basically explained to them, well, here's how the so computer guys they've got do their thing. Let's see, who have I not done yet?
Me.
I don't think I've done Uriah yet.
Yeah,
I asked
Uriah
Mika.
and Patrick, I think you haven't done.
Did I ask? Yeah, that's right. Tiana. We started off with Tiana. Okay, so it's just you. All right, Freddie, what are you doing?
I am going to gather information,
Okay.
and this is largely going to be focusing on the cult itself. Both
Okay.
their recruitment practices, and largely just. I already got rid.
Uh-oh.
He froze.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We don't want to lose him right here at the end.
Roll 20.
Oh. Kind of hear him.
He's
But-
coming in and out.
Any kind of local traditions that might have been usurped.
Okay. You froze up for a minute there. All we heard is local conditions. But basically, you just want any kind of information on Ninurta, on the cult. How they recruit,
Yes.
when they, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a roll on
Yeah,
gather
for
information in. You have investigate, I think?
All right. Yes. All right. So it is a +6. I'd close the. So that's gonna be a. I got a 24 on that total.
All right. So Ninurta Infort is
So
in there.
get information clearly, no complications.
All right. So Ninurta cult info. Recruitment / history. Let's see what else might be useful. Beliefs. All right. Don't let me forget. I will write you up something on what all you find before the next session.
All right.
Because not only can you be going through the computer systems and figuring out the history. At the moment, you have 2 members on base. And if you ask nicely, Jellicoe would let you question them. Uriah, how are you spending your downtime?
I stated, I think last week, what he was going to do is comb over the brain scans that he got
Mm-hmm.
and try to map them to how his connection to the active implants on those 3 megafauna were working, to try to build a bridge to figure out what does what, like what commands do what.
All right.
Not sure what that would that be gather information?
Gather information. Or maybe get creative.
Well, if he's building a lexicon of commands, I suppose get creative.
Well, with get creative, I'm thinking of like you're building like an app to help you figure stuff out, or to work it. So gather information would be just more directly figuring out what commands do what.
If I wasn't sleeping, could I assist him?
You're busy.
Yeah. I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Because with gather information, if you get the partial success,
Mm-hmm.
you've done something that would get you in trouble.
Yeah.
To work on this.
Again.
Of course, we could always say that the let's go with gather information, because I can think of a way you could potentially get in trouble if you don't roll well enough. Or have to frame someone else.
Okay. Other information. So. Can I utilize invent or create for this?
Technically, if he's creating an app.
Well, we're going with gather information.
Oh, okay.
I don't really think that one would factor into this.
Okay. God damn it.
What'd you get?
3.
Wow. So a 1 on the dice and 2 grit.
Uh-huh.
Ouch. All right, on a 9 or less, choose one. You get what you're looking for, but it gets you in trouble straight away. You get out now and avoid trouble, which I assume means you don't actually get what you were going after.
Yeah, he's getting out.
All right. So you don't get the information. You don't get that sorted out, but you manage not to get caught.
Yep.
Basically, what you notice is, it's like the security guys have been specifically told not to let you have some access to these things.
Okay.
So, naturally you were going to sneak around and do it anyway. And, almost got caught, but you managed, you didn't get the info, but you got away without any repercussions or anyone noticing.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we are wrapped up. We ran a little late, but we got started a little late, so it all evens out, I suppose.
Yep.
And then you'll be on to your own new mission next time. Melody and Audrey will, of course, be shipped off to play support for somebody else for the next little while. And yeah, I don't really have a blurb to give you for what the next mission will be. So I hope y'all had fun tonight. I enjoyed it. We got to figure out a better way to do fights in the narrative. It seems to bog down when it's not supposed to. So I'm doing something wrong, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's largely just because the tactical, like mech combat, and the non-mech combat are 2 completely different systems.
Yeah. Which I get why they did that.
Yeah.
Because in the narrative, combat it's really no different than if you were having a political debate with somebody or an argument. And mechanically, it's just a conflict. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, anybody that came out and watched, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us next week when we should be back here again. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me has been Rappy as Melody, Duba as Audrey, Jeremy as Cortev, Eric as Uriah, Sarah as Vika, Patrick as Freddy, and Carr as Tiana. And we will see y'all next time.
See ya.